5 o'clock.
News at 5 teasers are brought to you by Advanced Scales and Equipment. Service is our total commitment.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Nora Gay Banton.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
In Nationwide News at this hour, Dr. Andrew Wheatley and Robert Montague reappointed to 19-member cabinet announced today.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness charges his new slate of ministers to work and deliver with humility.
This is not a time to grow comfortable. It is a time to recommit humility to service and to performance.
Former EPOC chairman Keith Duncan named among 13 government senators.
U.S. think tank says steady leadership and political stability won Dr. Andrew Holness and the JLP a third consecutive term in office.
Digicel says mobile services have now been fully restored.
In news from the rest of the world, Grenadian government concerned about escalating activities in the Caribbean Sea.
Thousands protest against Trump's second UK state visit.
In headline sports, Jamaica goes in search of medals on day 6 of the World Champs in Tokyo.
And later in our broadcast, in our cover story at 5:35, a new 19-member cabinet has been announced. We'll be joined by a panel of analysts to assess the makeup of the new slate of ministers.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, what was your highlight from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness's inauguration? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90FM.
In the nation's business at 6:40, the Blue Run 5K powered by Guardian Life has become a national platform for driving awareness about prostate cancer. We'll hear more from Alfred Francis, Managing Director of Running Events Jamaica, and consultant urologist Dr. Belinda Morrison Blidgen.
And at 8, it's Boyatings After Dark with Kareem Boyatings Weathers.
All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile, Nationwide 90FM, RevoNews.ai, and on the Revo News app, available on Google Play and the App Store this Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday, September 17, 2025.
News at 5 teasers were brought to you by Advanced Scales and Equipment. Service is our total commitment.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now the details. Dr. Andrew Wheatley and Robert Montague have been reappointed to the cabinet. The men are part of the 19-member slate of ministers announced at King's House on Wednesday. The cabinet will lead the country forward as the JLP embarks on its third term in government. Shalois Michael has the details.
After being exiled from the political executive for years, Dr. Andrew Wheatley and Robert Montague are returning to the cabinet table. Both Wheatley and Montague return as ministers without portfolio. Wheatley in the office of the Prime Minister and Montague in the renamed Ministry of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development. Wheatley will have responsibility for science, technology, and special projects, while Montague will have a policy responsibility for land titling and settlements. The other noteworthy change sees Matthew Samuda branching out as the new Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change. He was previously Minister without portfolio in charge of those subject areas. All other ministers have been reappointed to their portfolios, with the noticeable exception being the Legal and Constitutional Affairs Minister, Marlene Malahoo Fort. Her portfolio responsibilities have been paired with Justice to create a Ministry of Justice, Legal and Constitutional Affairs. Delroy Chuck will head that ministry. Malahoo Fort appears to have been booted from the Holness cabinet. During his inauguration on Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Holness appealed to opposition leader Mark Golding to partner on finishing the work of making Jamaica a republic. In delivering his charge to the new cabinet, the Prime Minister emphasized that the work ahead must be done with humility.
Beyond the ceremony and the moment of pride, let us be clear, This is not a time to grow comfortable. It is a time to recommit to humility, to service, and to performance. Let us remain grounded in humility and resist the temptation to see ministries as personal turf. We cannot afford progress to be slowed by lack of collaboration with ministries pulling in different directions.
Dr. Holness also called on the ministers to prioritize a partnership when carrying out the responsibilities of their portfolios.
So I'm charging you to approach your responsibilities with humility, with discipline, but more so with teamwork. The composition of this cabinet has been thought out carefully. It represents a leveraging of the knowledge and experience of the previous government to continue the momentum to execute and complete efficiently projects, plans, and programs already in place and to initiate new plans and commitments in our manifesto.
Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, former chairman of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, and CEO of JMMB, Keith Duncan, is the most notable addition to the slate of government senators. Keith Duncan is the son of the late former PNP General Secretary and Cabinet Minister, Dr. D.K. Duncan. There have been long rumors that Duncan was being wooed by Prime Minister Holness to serve the JLP administration. As recently as February this year, Keith Duncan was forced to deny reports he was being appointed to the Senate as part of a reshuffle by the Prime Minister. Duncan is the brother of the PNP's Patricia Duncan Sutherland, who lost to Fayval Williams in her recent bid to represent Eastern St. Andrew in the House of Representatives. Two other new additions to the Senate are attorneys at law Christian Tavares Finson and Rose Bennett Cooper. Mrs. Bennett Cooper is the chairman of the Rent Assessment Board. Tavares Finson is the son of Senate President, King's Counsel Tom Tavares Finson. He was appointed as an honorary consul of the Kingdom of Netherlands in Jamaica in 2017. The young Tavares Finson recently made a bid to become JLP caretaker for North Central St. Andrew constituency leading up to the September 3 general election. But he was overlooked for Delano Seavright, who also exits the Senate after becoming the new MP for the constituency. Returning to the upper house are K.C. Tavares Finson, Charles Sinclair Jr., Kamina Johnson Smith, Aubin Hill, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, Shireen Golding Campbell, Cavan Gale, Abka Fitzhenley, Marlon Morgan, and Dr. Elon Thompson.
Meanwhile, Dr. Holness says his third term in office will also focus on the future JLP government.
This third term will also be about seamless succession and transition planning. And you would have seen this as a number of our ministers have indicated their timelines, ensuring that there is significant renewal in leadership, thinking, and approaches. I see Minister Vaz looking on in surprise. He was the first to indicate his timeline. DPM has indicated his timeline. Minister Granger, I hear, and others. And in the days to come, I'm certain you will hear more indications of timelines.
Dr. Holness notes that these transitions will not disrupt the achievements of the respective portfolios.
Organizations can only grow, remain relevant if they renew. And the organization that I lead is in the process of renewing without disruption, but we'll do it in a balanced way. Continuity gives us strength. Renewal gives us dynamism, and we will have both. Together, this will allow us to carry forward what works while creating space for what we can do differently.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Holness is brushing aside speculations about stepping down following what's described as a record of achievements by the governing JLP under his stewardship. During his inaugural address at King's House on Tuesday, Dr. Holness asserted that there's still more work to be done.
There are those who say, Prime Minister, you have achieved so much, you have nothing left to prove. It is time to hand over the baton. I hear you, I hear those voices, but I also hear another voice.
the voice of Jamaica itself, the voice that says we are not yet where we need to be, the voice that says we are destined for more, the voice that says our children deserve to inherit not just hope but opportunity, not just survival but success, not just resilience but prosperity.
It's the fourth time Dr. Holness has been sworn in as Prime Minister of Jamaica following the JLP's victory at the polls. The party centered its campaign around its long list of achievements since taking office in 2016. These included the record low unemployment, record low poverty, and the latest reduction in murders. It's a feat that has led many to say that Dr. Holness has nothing more to prove, but the Prime Minister says he stands ready to continue leading the party through its third consecutive term in government.
This term is not about me proving that we can build. We have already proven that. There is much more to build, and I am here to build it. This term is not about my legacy. It is about Jamaica's destiny. That is why I stand before you today, not as a man who feels he has completed his work, but as a leader who knows that the greatest tasks are still ahead of us. The greatest challenges are yet to come.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness.
Meanwhile, returning Minister of Finance Favour Williams says bringing tangible benefits to the Jamaican people remains her top priority.
I am delighted at the confidence that the Prime Minister continues to have in me. I recommit to continue to do the work. I know what is important. Obviously, the first order of business, as we are almost closing this fiscal year, to ensure that we close it properly. I know we have another several months to go, to ensure that the programs that were continued, that they are implemented to completion, and to ensure that we look at all areas of government.
The JLP made several promises in the run-up to the September 3 general election. These include reductions in the income tax rate and further increases in the minimum wage. While committed to these promises, Minister Williams sought to assure Jamaicans that fiscal responsibility remains the priority of the Holness administration.
They do remain the watchword, but on top of that, just a significant focus on growth. We have to move the growth agenda to more significant levels than we have seen in the past. We have to look at those sectors that have served us well to see how much more they can do, but we also have to look at new sectors. There's technology that we have not really embraced in the way that it would help us to move the growth agenda. So as you heard the Prime Minister say, our ministries are not our personal domain. We have to embrace working with each other across government to get that momentum.
Favour Williams, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, she was speaking after her swearing in at King's House today.
And Pernell Charles Jr., who has been reappointed Labour and Social Security Minister, says he's ready to complete the work being done by his ministry to serve vulnerable Jamaicans.
I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I'm encouraged by our Prime Minister's words, the drive towards productivity and teamwork to make sure that we're not just talking about achievements, but moving towards the destiny for this country, this great nation, is something that I want to be a part of. And so the opportunity to contribute to that is something that I don't take lightly, and I endeavor my best to ensure that I continue to be committed fully to ensuring that we serve the people and that the decisions that we make are for the best interest of Jamaica.
Pernell Charles Jr., Minister of Labour and Social Security. Charles Jr. was first appointed to lead the portfolio in 2023. Prior to that, he was Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries.
You're listening to the news on Nationwide. More news after these.
It's IQ Optical's sizzling summer sale. For this month only, get 50% off lenses when you purchase a frame. Kids get free lenses with a purchase of a frame. Make the intelligent choice with IQ Optical. Conditions apply. The time by IQ Optical is
5:14.
Rentokil Initial offers air purification solutions with triple filtration and unique auto-sensing capabilities that neutralizes malodor and replaces it with clean air. Call Rentokil Initial at 926-4236 for more details.
The temperature by Rentokil is...
It's 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 in Montego Bay.
Freedom, speed, agility, intelligence, friendship. These are the hallmarks that define the dolphin, the master of the seas, and are the hallmarks that inspire Sterling Asset Management. For over 20 years, we have provided investment products that give our clients financial freedom, and our service is fast, insightful, warm, and genuine. Sterling Asset Management, intelligent investing for the intelligent investor.
Continuing the news, PNP President Mark Golding has announced the appointment of the 8 opposition senators. They are Donna Marie Scott Motley, Professor Floyd Morris, Lambert Brown, Kisha Gay Anderson, Alan Bernard, Dr. Maziki Tame, Ramon Small Ferguson, and Cleveland Tomlinson. The PNP announced the senators in a media release a short while ago. It says the party welcomes the appointment as they bring a variety of relevant expertise, experience, and commitment to national service. The party says the group represents the values and vision of the PNP and will play a critical role in advancing policies and reviewing legislation that promotes social justice, equity, and sustainable development for the people of Jamaica.
And the PNP is skipping the public session of its annual conference this year. This after the party was defeated for a third consecutive time at the September 3 polls. The annual conference is usually held in September, but it's understood that the PNP has scheduled a private session for November 30. It follows the election of the party president and vice presidents, which is scheduled for 2 weeks prior on November 15. The slate of events coincides with the JLP's annual conference, which is traditionally held in November.
Telecommunications company Digicel says mobile services have been fully restored to customers affected by network disruptions on Wednesday. Several customers took to social media saying they're unable to make calls. According to the customers, phone calls are disconnected with the message, quote, "Your phone's not registered on a network, so you can only make emergency calls," end quote. In response, Digicel says its technical teams were actively working to identify the cause. Following the restoration of service, the telecoms provider says customers can now enjoy uninterrupted calls and data. Digicel says all active prepaid customers will receive 2 hours of free data up to 4 this afternoon. Active postpaid customers will get 10 gigabytes of free data set to expire in 30 days.
Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon, says he has instructed the authorities to do an assessment to determine what is causing excessive flooding in some parts of the city. Sections of the parish were affected by heavy afternoon showers on Wednesday.
We have experienced heavy downpour of rain over the last 2 hours or so, and there are some areas that are flooded, but we have quick runoff, so it is not sustained flooding. Nonetheless, I instructed the superintendent to do assessment of the area so we can have final details what has contributed to the flooding or the extent of the damage, if there is any. So I will get that information later on today to tomorrow.
Videos circulating online show roads completely flooded. In one video, a car is almost underwater. Mayor Vernon says some of the areas that have experienced excessive flooding include Catherine Hall and St. James Street.
The reports that are coming into the office about the roads flooded include the following list: Westgate, the Barnett Street, Westgate area, Bogue Village, the road leading to Bogue Village, which is Temple Gallery, the roadway Theodore Whitmore Drive in the vicinity of the Catherine Hall Stadium, the Catherine Hall roadway where the Perimeter Road project is being done, St. James Street in the vicinity of the intersection of St. James Street, Union Street area, the lower section of Creek Street area that is close to the South Gully. Those are the areas that we got the reports on, and we should get some more information by later on this afternoon.
Richard Vernon, Mayor of Montego Bay.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
The World in a Minute.
The government of Grenada has expressed deep concern about what it describes as an escalation of activities in the Caribbean Sea. In a statement on Wednesday, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell said the Caribbean Sea remains the lifeblood of fishers and inter-island traders. It said their safety and freedom of movement are paramount. Mitchell added that while illicit maritime activities pose challenges, these must be dealt with through lawful means and stronger regional cooperation. Grenada says dialogue and diplomacy are the only acceptable tools for resolving differences. The statement comes amid heightened tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that naval forces in the Caribbean sank a third alleged drug-running boat off the coast of the South American country. In response, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has accused the U.S. of plotting to invade his country.
Thousands of people have gathered in Parliament Square for a rally against U.S. President Donald Trump's second state visit. A group known as Organizers Stop Trump Coalition marched from central London's Portland Place towards Whitehall. Some protesters carried signs with slogans such as "No to Racism," "No to Trump," and "Stop Arming Israel." The Metropolitan Police estimated that up to 5,000 people were in attendance. More than 1,600 police officers had been deployed, including 500 from other forces. U.S. President Donald Trump kicked off his historic second state visit to Britain on Wednesday amid unprecedented intense security, technology investments, and protests. Trump and his wife Melania are being hosted by King Charles at Windsor Castle.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity. Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, Dr. Andrew Wheatley and Robert Montague reappointed to 19-member cabinet announced today.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness charges his new slate of ministers to work and deliver with humility.
Former EPOC chairman Keith Duncan named among 13 government senators.
Digicel says mobile services have now been fully restored.
I'm Nora Gay Banton.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
You can find the news on our website at revonews.ai and on the Revo News app, available on Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
Do it for your best life, do it. Go check your HIV status, do it. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself it, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan, do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it, don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life.
Tune in to Cliff Hughes Online with George Davis on Friday, September 19 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we broadcast live from the Jamaica Agribusiness Investment Forum at the Montego Bay Convention Center. Under the theme, Sustainable Agribusiness, Global Reach, Local Impact, this international forum will showcase investment opportunities, flagship projects, and the official deal book. Over 600 in-person attendees and 1,000 virtual participants, including investors, agri-entrepreneurs, policymakers, and global leaders. Don't miss the chance to be part of Jamaica's agricultural transformation. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online with George Davis, Friday, September 19 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the Jamaica Agribusiness Investment Forum at the Montego Bay Convention Center. Catch us live on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2 or turn your radios to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Agro Investment Corporation, Jamaica Stock Exchange, the Coconut Industry Board, Walkerswood, the Jamaica Customs Agency, Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority, and Jamaica Agricultural Regulatory Authority, JACRA.
Sports at 5 is brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
Good afternoon with your sports reporter, I'm Alex Raby.
This is Nationwide's World Championships Roundup.
We start with track and field as Jamaica will go in search of more medals on Thursday's day 7 of competition at the World Athletics Championships at 6:55 a.m. Shanika Ricketts and Akila Smith will go in the final of the women's triple jump. National record holder Rasheen McDonald will be the country's lone representative in the final of the men's 400 meters at 8:10 a.m. Jamaica time. At 8:24 a.m. Nikisha Price will be in the final of the women's 400 meters. Lamara Distin will feature in the heats of the women's high jump at 5:15, while the trio of Adele Tracy, Kellyanne Beckford and Natoya Gould-Toppin will go in the heats of the women's 800 meters at 5:55. Christopher Taylor, Adrian Kerr and Brian Lavelle will contest the men's 200 meters semis at 7:02. Sharika Jackson and Ashanti Moore will feature in the women's 200 meters semis at 7:24 a.m.
Tajay Gale added a silver medal to Jamaica's medal tally after leaping to a season best 8.34 meters at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. The country medal stands at 6, inclusive of 1 gold, 4 silver and a bronze. The 2019 World Champion from Doha, while speaking with Nationwide's Wayne Walker, explained that a switch in camp from MVP to Kerry Lee Ricketts worked wonders.
It done a lot for me, especially mental-wise. I don't have to worry about much now. Especially, I know of my circle. My circle, my immediate circle. Feel a lot of people that only wants best for me. Not saying that the camp that I left MVP was that bad, but for me, really, it was too harsh on me. Too much. I won't go to that, but yeah. So. Training with Shanika and Mr. Ricketts, especially Mr. Ricketts, he was a very optimistic person. Always, bring the vibes and bring the motivation, even if me not have any. So, it was a very healthy environment to train in.
Tajay Gale.
Now to football, as defending champions, Paris Saint-Germain made a powerful statement in the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday, cruising to a 4-0 victory over Italian side Atalanta at the Parc des Princes. In front of a packed home crowd, PSG displayed the form that brought them continental glory last season, dominated possession and carving open Atalanta's defence with ease. Meanwhile, Liverpool outscored Atletico Madrid 3-2 in their Champions League group stage clash at Anfield. The Reds came flying out the blocks, stunning the visitors with 2 goals in the opening 6 minutes. In other results, Inter Milan beat Ajax 2-0 and Bayern Munich beat Chelsea 3-1.
Veteran cricket commentator Joseph Reds Pereira has expressed serious concerns about the 50-member squad selected for the West Indies' upcoming Test tour of India. Pereira questioned both the composition of the team and the limited overtime allotted for the preparation. The West Indies are set to play 2 test matches against India from October 2 to 14, with matches scheduled in Ahmedabad and Delhi. The 2 test match series will be part of the ICC's World Test Championship cycle, adding another pressure on the Caribbean side to perform. Pereira is alarmed by the lack of preparation time and the readiness of the players for such a challenging tour.
The recall of Chandra Paul, who had a very poor 4-day season, eventually was out of the side because of injury, and I'm unaware that he's played any cricket recently. Graves has been named, and he has been injured out of the CPL, and yet again, Jason Holder has been overlooked, as if they're saying to Jason Holder, your Test career has ended. You will only play T20. They're taking Gary Peer in place of Moti, but Peer has had no experience abroad. Player has never played any Test cricket, even in the Caribbean. And there's a report out of Georgetown that Shamar Joseph may be suffering a little bit from the shoulder injury when taking that superb catch that Deepish Menon flat out like a goalkeeper when they played against the Royals. So is he fit for the CPL? Will he be fit for the series? And of course, the underlying surprise that we will have only 5 days of preparation before we play the first test in India on October the 2nd.
Joseph Fritz Pereira.
I'm Alric Swaby.
I'm Reed McCannon. That's your sports.
Sports at 5 was brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
Cubby's Baby Wipes is ideal for your baby's delicate skin, infused with vitamin E and aloe vera, and available for home or on the go. The time by Cubby's Baby Wipes is
5:30.
From Kingston to the world, from Montego Bay to new adventures, and from Oterias to endless possibilities. Wherever you're headed, we will proudly take you there. Jamaica's Airport, your global gateway. The temperature brought to you by the Airports Authority of Jamaica is
26 degrees Celsius in City Kingston and 20 in Montego Bay.
Delicious meals, poolside cocktails, right on the beach. Disconnect from your daily worries and reconnect with the one you love. There's no paradise like home. This summer, enjoy a romantic all-inclusive escape at Couples Tower Isle, Couples Sanssouci, Couples Negril, or Couples Swept Away from $295 USD per night. Take advantage of this offer today by visiting Couples Resorts at couples.com. Conditions apply.
Want to save money and still protect your engine? Get Chevron Supreme Sin Blend Motor Oil, the blue bottle with a silver stripe. Now upgraded to synthetic blend, so your engine runs cleaner, longer, and stronger. Now available island-wide at service stations and leading auto parts stores. Ask for Chevron Motor Oil, your favorite blue bottle with a silver stripe. That's Chevron Sin Blend, your engine good friend.
Now, PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
You want to do your thing with your queen or your king.
Or I get a little frisky that make you flex frisky.
PrEP, I extra bucketed.
To help you stay HIV negative.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV. PrEP tablets available at your clinic from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
From a single hopeful seed to your family's growing need. Yeah. Nothing is out of reach, no matter how small they seem. Access Financial will always support your dreams. 25 years, side by side. 25 years of joy and pride. Yeah. 25 years is quite a ride at the heart of helping you thrive.
The little man who want alone, the boss lady who want to upgrade on her own, the business idea you want to show. Access. We are committed to helping you grow.
Think about your dreams, to stand up tall. We've been through it all. 25 years, side by side. 25 years of joy and pride. 25 years is quite a ride at the heart of helping you thrive. 25 years.
Access Financial Services, 25 years strong, pioneering dreams into reality.
Taboo topics,
riveting discussions,
celebrity news and interviews,
topics that are shunned by society,
and everything else in between. Boyatings After Dark with Kareem Boyatings each and every Wednesday, 8 to 11 p.m. Boyatings After Dark. No topic is too taboo or hard to discuss. Come get your mind blown and your curiosity explored. Boyatings After Dark.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton. Weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Marlon Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m.
The Jamaican Dads podcast is all about providing men with a healthy, safe, and functional forum to tackle many of the taboo topics that concern our masculinity.
Like everyone else out there, we're dads of varying amounts of experience who come from different backgrounds and often view the world differently.
We're definitely not perfect, but we are all brethren and we're all committed to this piece of rock called Jamaica.
Too often, there are no safe spaces for men to explore the issues which are important to us.
Plus, most of the content out there about parenthood is produced by women, for women. So we think it is important that we be the change we want to see.
Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jamaican Dads with a Z.
And definitely join us here on Nationwide 90 FM every Thursday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m. for the Jamaican Dads podcast. It's a revolution in media.
Good afternoon, listeners and viewers. I hope the day finds you well. It's 5:35 and it is time for the cover story. I'm Siobhan Campbell.
And my name is Sanjay Lewis. Good afternoon to you, Siobhan, and good afternoon to the listeners. How are you this afternoon?
Doing quite well. It has been quite the hectic day, as we'll get into. Today was the swearing-in ceremony for 18 of the cabinet ministers. Dr. Andrew Wheatley and Robert Montague have been reappointed among that number. The men are part of the 19-member slate of ministers announced at King's House on Wednesday. The cabinet will lead the country forward as the JLP embarks on its third term in government. Shalois Michael has those details.
After being exiled from the political executive for years, Dr. Andrew Wheatley and Robert Montague are returning to the cabinet table. Both Wheatley and Montague return as ministers without portfolio. Wheatley in the office of the Prime Minister and Montague in the renamed Ministry of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development. Wheatley will have responsibility for science, technology, and special projects, while Montague will have a policy responsibility for land titling and settlements. The other noteworthy change sees Matthew Samuda branching out as the new Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change. He was a previously minister without portfolio in charge of those subject areas. All other ministers have been reappointed to their portfolios, with the noticeable exception being the Legal and Constitutional Affairs Minister, Marlene Malahoo Fort. Her portfolio responsibilities have been paired with Justice to create a Ministry of Justice, Legal and Constitutional Affairs. Delroy Chuck will head that ministry. Malahoo Fort appears to have been booted from the Holness Cabinet. During his inauguration on Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Holness appealed to opposition leader Mark Golding to partner on finishing the work of making Jamaica a republic. In delivering his charge to the new cabinet, the Prime Minister emphasized that the work ahead must be done with humility.
Beyond the ceremony and the moment of pride, let us be clear, this is not a time to grow comfortable. It is a time to recommit to humility, to service, and to performance. Let us remain grounded in humility and resist the temptation to see ministries as personal turf. We cannot afford progress to be slowed by lack of collaboration with ministries pulling in different directions.
Dr. Holness also called on the ministers to prioritize a partnership when carrying out the responsibilities of their portfolios.
So I'm charging you to approach your responsibilities with humility, with discipline, but more so with teamwork. The composition of this cabinet has been thought out carefully. It represents a leveraging of the knowledge and experience of the previous government to continue the momentum to execute and complete efficiently projects, plans, and programs already in place and to initiate new plans and commitments in our manifesto.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Well, to assess the new cabinet, we're now joined by Associate Professor of Language, Culture and Society at the School of Humanities and Social Sciences at UTech, Dr. Rohan Lewis. We also have Social Development Specialist Damian Hilton, and we have political commentator Dr. Nadine Spence. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Afternoon to the listeners.
Good afternoon, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen. Let me start with you, Dr. Lewis. What do you make of Robert Montague and Dr. Andrew Wheatley? They're back in the cabinet. Your thoughts on that?
A very interesting kind of event. I think that we have seen before this kind of rehabilitation of the reputation of members of various cabinets. We note in the 1990s, we would have seen one of the classic cases of, I will return and what happened there. So this is not new that someone who has exited the cabinet for whatever kind of reason that might be seen as ethical in quotation marks returns later on. So that's part of the process, I think. Well, there's something else that I wanted to focus on, the fact that in the campaign, the People's National Party focused heavily on the question of propriety and so on, whereas the Jamaican people might not have ignored some of those issues. The Jamaican people are not as concerned, I don't think, about those kinds of issues because of how the society is configured. The society prefers to frame issues of ethics and politics as issues of righteousness versus what would happen in another society where someone errs, the person goes, and the person doesn't come back, that kind of thing.
Dr. Nadine Spence, not a major shakeup of the cabinet, really. The Prime Minister put it as continuity paired with a sense of renewal. Do you believe that is the reflection there?
I think perhaps in the appointment of Bobby Montague on the matter of land titling, and we know that is seen as one of the major hindrances to economic growth, and because there are so many Jamaicans who do not have a defined path to land ownership, and because even our post-colonial realities and this issue of land acquisition and land ownership in Jamaica, I think that specific titling suggests perhaps a change that we haven't seen before. That's one. Two, I think Andrew Wheatley's reappointment, but his focus on science and technology is important. I don't think we had seen that kind of Wheatley's brand of talent in the cabinet, and I think he was recruited or he was brought into the JLP because of who he is. Wheatley was famously a part of the YAM group at UA and had done a lot of research into different aspects of Jamaican natural foods, and he came from the Faculty of Science and Technology to kind of bring this focus on the sciences, and him being out of the cabinet, we didn't see that replacement per se. I think, again, for me too, which is, my heart skipped a beat and I didn't see the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, and I didn't see Marlene Malaho for it because I thought that was such important work. So for me, those three changes present possible, conversation points and starters. I think we knew that Audrey Marks in the Senate had a special focus on this matter of speed efficiency and cutting red tape. We heard the Prime Minister talk about that yesterday in his presentation at King's House, and we also recognized in his speeches coming from his budget presentations last year that this matter of efficiency and this matter of productivity are key to the pushing of this agenda of transformation such that even the people at the lowest end of the society can feel the progress as the government says. So I think those for me are it's 3 or 4. 3 or 4, I think, talking points that we could look at those new additions and say, yes, those represent important conversation points. I think Matthew Samuda's ministry on his own speaks to his own efficiency. I think Matthew Samuda is really a very good minister, and that he has a ministry of his own is testament to the confidence that is reposed in his ability to deliver. So yeah, I think those for me were the major conversation starters. We can dig a little bit more into it, perhaps not on your program, certainly for me, into what they all mean, but I think those are good conversation starters.
We're open up break, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll come back and get your assessment, Damien Hilton.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request a customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is...
It's 5:45.
Burn Shack fried chicken always ready. Burn Shack, original crispy. Burn Shack, Cajun spicy. Burn Shack, a barbecue. Burn Shack, we are going Burn Shack.
The temperature brought to you by Bird Shack Fried Chicken in Montego Bay and Ocho Rios is...
It is 26 degrees Celsius here in the capital city, Kingston, and 26 out west in Montego Bay.
Enough power tool, big to small. Jack on my figure, dig the wall.
Our total tools.
Beat back a figure, trim the lawn. We have everything and chop them on.
Total tools.
We rent them, sell them, and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When I say home improvement, landscape construction, a Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option. Total Tools, located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slive Road, Kingston.
And Lot C6 Jackson, Sentence Bay. Call us today.
Do it for your best life, do it. Go check your HIV status, do it. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan, do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it, don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life.
Is your money idling when it could be thriving? With CIBC Caribbean's fixed deposit offering, you can take charge of your cash. With 50,000 Jamaican to start, choose terms from 30 days to 2 years. Lock in your funds and enjoy premium rates guaranteed to grow your wealth. Whether you're eyeing short or long-term gains, or fixed deposit accounts puts you firmly in control of your money. Now is the time to open a CIBC fixed deposit account and start earning more today. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Welcome back here on Nationwide at 5. We're discussing the new cabinet, which was sworn in today. And we have with us Dr. Rohan Lewis, we have Damien Hilton, and Dr. Nadine Spence. And I want to go to you, Damien, because Dr. Lewis noted that during the campaign, the PNP has often pointed to individuals who have stepped away from government and who they believe should not return. With the Prime Minister bringing back the likes of Dr. Andrew Wheatley, do you believe this signals that the Prime Minister feels he has sufficient political capital to withstand any backlash that may come?
I don't think it's an issue of the Prime Minister necessarily assessing his political capital. I think it was a no-brainer that some persons would be returned to the Prime Minister's cabinet. These two gentlemen, Mr. Montague and Dr. Wheatley, would have served in full ministerial capacities before. And it's not uncommon, as was mentioned, within our Westminster model of governance, persons would have stepped away from ministerial duties for whatever reasons and been brought back. And I think both political parties have had these experiences at different times in their tenure. So I don't really think the Prime Minister is necessarily assessing it from the political capital in the broader body politic. However, he may be assessing it from the lens of the politics of the Jamaica Labour Party and nuancing that with politics and governance, because these two men have been given governance portfolios that are critical to advancing part of what the JLP's manifesto highlighted, one being the issue of land and land tenureship, which Mr. Montague is going to prioritize, the other being continuing the advancements in terms of science and technology, which is where Dr. Wheatley's background is. So there's a governance side, which obviously they have value to add to that, and there is the internal political side. These are two men, one a chairman of the party, one a critical ally of Mr. Holness, and I don't think there's any contention that these two persons were being eyed to come back into the cabinet to provide the kind of support that the Prime Minister will need for this third term.
Dr. Spence, you are familiar with the workings of the Constitutional Reform Committee. You are a member of it. And I mean, I don't want to speculate as to the future of Marlene Malahoo Fort. I mean, there's still state ministers and other appointments to be made, but the subsuming of constitutional affairs back into the Justice Ministry, does that concern you that this area of governance is going to most likely take a back burner?
I have concerns, to be honest, because justice does not necessarily automatically lead to a conversation about constitutional reform. The two are not necessarily the same thing. And so for me, I don't know. I think the minister did a pretty good job with the new ministry in the time that she was appointed to the ministry, in terms of handling the conversations that were there and doing the work that was necessary for us as a nation to have a conversation. Contentious conversations, but globally those conversations are contentious. But I think for me this feels like a demotion, perhaps punishment for that work, and I think that is unfair. I feel personally invested in that part of the conversation, and given all that happened, I think to demote the conversation in the way, and the minister suggests that it wasn't handled properly, and I don't agree with it. So I have my own reservations about it personally, so perhaps you shouldn't ask me to comment. I just think it doesn't look so good for her and for that ministry from where I sit.
Yeah. Let me hear you, Dr. Lewis, because...
May I jump in here?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes, I really understand Nadine's concerns. And it does you do get the sense that this is punishment for something, given that she is, the notable exception from the cabinet. However, I want to look at it from a different perspective, and this is perhaps long-term, long-range. How do we configure our cabinet positions? How do we configure our ministries? The question of the constitutional issue, given that we are looking at reforming the constitution now, yes, it might have been important to have a ministry devoted to that at that particular point in the history of the administration. But moving forward, we want to keep, creating these small pieces of issues that could possibly lie under larger ministries. So justice and legal and constitutional affairs do go together. It's not justice, it's the legal and constitutional affairs component that will be treated under this ministry. So that would be, for me, a sense of where do we need to go in reforming how we create our ministries, one, but also to create a more permanent structure rather than the kind of every whatever happens, the Prime Minister decides that he's going to expand or contract the number of ministries in a kind of incoherent way. There's some coherence, I think, to this kind of positioning of the constitutional affairs under this particular ministry.
Yeah, I want to agree with Doc on that. I think a lot of work would have been done under the Ministry of Legal Affairs, Constitutional Reform and Legal Affairs in the last administration. I think coming into this administration, there are some considerations that perhaps the Prime Minister would have to look at. One being that he stands to lose a number of his key MPs, who have indicated that they will no longer continue beyond this term. And so even looking at legal and constitutional affairs being merged with justice, where Minister Chuck will be the minister, it is quite possible that Mrs. Malahoo Fort would find herself leading as a state minister in that ministry until Mr. Chuck, leaves the space. I agree with Doc again that I don't know that we needed a Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. It can function as a department under the Ministry of Justice. And I don't think it is a fair commentary on the matter to say that the former Minister Malawi Fort was booted from the cabinet. There has been
but wouldn't it be strange, though, Damien, for a full minister to now be a state minister in a ministry? Typically, when you follow the politics and government, that's not something that you normally would see, because you could have two full ministers in a ministry.
Yeah, but the conversation has to be nuanced when you're looking at the current governance setup that the JLP is trying to roll out in light of some internal realities that they have to deal with. The JLP have a number of ministers who are aging out. And as a part of continuity, they have to maintain some of the programs and priorities. The issue of our move from the monarchy to a republic remains on the agenda. The Prime Minister said that.
But that's not the only part of it that is considered.
No, I know.
Much of that conversation about efficiency.
Let me finish the point. I know that.
Hold on, Dr. Spence. We're going to allow you to respond. Let's let Damien finish his point and then we'll come to you. Finish the point, Damien.
I know it's not the only part of it, but a lot of the legwork would have been done. And invariably, there is going to be more that is needed outside of some of the issues that would have been addressed. But a merger does not mean that the issue is no longer on the table, because the Prime Minister himself would have indicated that it remains a priority. Merging the legal and constitutional ministry into justice, I believe, allows for one lead minister, while you can have the legal and constitutional component functioning similar to a department or agency of a ministry. I don't know that by itself, it not being a ministry constrains the process of legal and constitutional reform. And so I agree with Doc, who spoke earlier, that if we're looking at it through the lens of, she was a minister, and no, she's not a minister, we might see it as some kind of demotion. However, if we look at it from the lens that the government is trying to strategically position itself to be more efficient going forward, then we can see it as a part of the conversation about continuity and renewal.
I hear you, Damien, but just one point and then we go to Dr. Spence. It could have been that it's under justice, and you have two ministers. We have seen it already, Favour Williams being a Minister of State in the Finance Ministry. But I hear your point. Let's hear Dr. Spence.
I think that the idea that if you want to be efficient, then this is an indication of that efficiency is inconsistent with the idea of what constitutional reform is. Because constitutional reform is not limited to Jamaica moving from
a republic,
a monarchy to a republic. A lot of the constitutional reform, in fact, is about streamlining the public sector as an organ of the Constitution, or as is represented in the Constitution, and the other changes that would be necessary to transform the public service into an efficient public service that is held accountable and doesn't seem to be set up by the Constitution to where the public service itself is treated as a special machinery that operates outside of the public space and cannot be held accountable by anything outside of what is set up by the Constitution in that way. So I think that if we see constitutional reform as confined to that particular conversation about the Caribbean Court of Justice, even though I think those are critical conversations to it, we might miss the importance of it to the government's wider focus on efficiency and on productivity and on growth, because the constitutional reform was critical to that. So I see the move as inconsistent with that push. And for me as well, I think it says a lot that you take you demote one minister. You do not mention one minister at the appointment of your key cabinet. Yes, state ministers and junior ministers will be appointed, but that is a demotion. And we can draw conclusions, or we can decide that we don't want to see it like that. But yes, fine if you want to, but I am seeing it a particular way. I'm not asking anybody else to process it the way I'm processing it. I'm just saying, if you ask me my opinion, I am processing it a particular way.
We're almost out of time, gentlemen and lady, but I would like to put it to each of you. The appointments to the Senate, most of them remain the same. The majority of them remain the same, outside of those who have been elevated, demoted, however you want to put it, to the lower house. But in addition to that is Keith Duncan is going to the Senate, and I would love to hear the reaction of each of you, starting with you, Dr. Lewis.
Well, for me, that was an interesting kind of play. I don't know what it means. I can't say exactly how it is to be interpreted, but it's a very interesting play given, and part of it too, I think, in the Jamaican context, is how is family relations, and you do already see another family relation in the Senate, but you also see family relations within the Parliament and how these go across party lines. Very, very interesting in that sense. I don't know how else to read it.
Damien Hilton?
Keith Duncan is one of the few Jamaicans, I think, who has gained for himself a lot of social capital on both sides of the political divide. He reminds me of a Don Webby type of person in the Senate. Even though Don Webby was representing the JLP in the Senate, his persona, what he brought to the space was very bipartisan for the most part. And I think Mr. Duncan, having that social capital, the family history and name we all know, and the politics around that. But I think given his work with EPOC, the success of the economic oversight committee that he led, given the fact that he has also been named the head of the Fiscal Advisory Committee, we know of his background in business as a former president of the PSOJ. I think it's a great value added to the Senate. Interestingly, on the opposite side of the Senate, Ms. Keisha Anderson has been named, who has worked with the JNB as a country manager for Jamaica and is now the PNP treasurer. So,
yes.
There's that interplay in the Senate. And we'll hear more about the Duncan name and the politics around that. But I think for Jamaica, that's a win for Jamaica to have somebody like Keith Duncan in the Senate with the value that he adds to the public discourse and to the lawmaking that we all want to improve in our country.
And final word to you, Nadine?
I don't think that's the family name that is curious in the Senate. But I think Keith Duncan is himself a value to any space he occupies. So yes, that's a good thing.
Thank you, lady and gentlemen. That is Dr. Nadine Spence, political commentator as well as Associate Professor of Language, Culture and Society at the School of Humanities and Social Sciences at UTEC, Dr. Rowan Lewis, and Social Development Specialist Damien Hilton. Thank you all for joining us and providing your insights this evening.
Okay,
You're welcome. All the best.
Your listeners, the headlines are next.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
2 minutes after 6.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening. With the headlines at 6, I'm Shalois Michael. Dr. Andrew Wheatley and Robert Montague have been reappointed to the cabinet. The men are part of the 19-member slate of ministers announced at King's House on Wednesday. Both Wheatley and Montague return as ministers without portfolio. Wheatley in the office of the Prime Minister and Montague in the renamed Ministry of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development. The other noteworthy change sees Matthew Samuda branching out as the new Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change. In delivering his charge to the new cabinet, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness emphasized that the work ahead must be done with humility.
Beyond the ceremony and the moment of pride, let us be clear, this is not a time to grow comfortable. It is a time to recommit to humility, to service, and to performance. Let us remain grounded in humility and resist the temptation to see ministries as personal turf. We cannot afford progress to be slowed by lack of collaboration with ministries pulling in different directions.
Dr. Holness also called on the ministers to prioritize a partnership when carrying out the responsibilities of their portfolios.
So I'm charging you to approach your responsibilities with humility, with discipline, but more so with teamwork. Teamwork. The composition of this cabinet has been thought out carefully. It represents a leveraging of the knowledge and experience of the previous government to continue the momentum to execute and complete efficiently projects, plans, and programs already in place and to initiate new plans and commitments in our manifesto.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, former chairman of EPOC, Keith Duncan, is the most notable addition to the slate of government senators. Keith Duncan is the son of the late former PNP General Secretary and Cabinet Minister Dr. D.K. Duncan. Two other new additions to the Senate are attorneys at law Christian Tavares Finson and Rose Bennett Cooper. Mrs. Bennett Cooper is the chairman of the Rent Assessment Board. Tavares Finson is the son of Senate President King's Counsel Tom Tavares Finson. In the meantime, Prime Minister Holness is brushing aside speculations about stepping down following what's being described as a record of achievements by the governing JLP under his stewardship. He was delivering his inaugural address at King's House on Tuesday.
There are those who say, Prime Minister, you have achieved so much, you have nothing left to prove. It is time to hand over the baton. I hear you, I hear those voices, but I also hear another voice. The voice of Jamaica itself. The voice that says we are not yet where we need to be. The voice that says we are destined for more. The voice that says our children deserve to inherit not just hope but opportunity, not just survival but success, not just resilience but prosperity.
It's the fourth time Dr. Holness has been sworn in as Prime Minister of Jamaica following the JLP's victory at the polls. The party centered its campaign around its long list of achievements since taking office in 2016. Dr. Holness says he stands ready to continue leading the party through its third consecutive term in government.
This term is not about me proving that we can build. We have already proven that. There is much more to build, and I am here to build it. This term is not about my legacy. It is about Jamaica's destiny. That is why I stand before you today, not as a man who feels he has completed his work, but as a leader who knows that the greatest tasks are still ahead of us. The greatest challenges are yet to come.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. PNP President Mark Golding has announced the appointment of the 8 opposition senators. They are Donna Marie Scott Motley, Professor Floyd Morris, Lambert Brown, Keisha Gay Anderson, Alan Rutherford, Bernard, Dr. Maziki Thame, Ramon Small Ferguson, and Cleveland Tomlinson. The PNP announced the senators in a media release on Wednesday. Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon, says he has instructed the authorities to do an assessment to determine what is causing excessive flooding in some parts of the city. Sections of the parish were flooded by heavy afternoon showers on Wednesday.
We have experienced heavy downpour of rain over the last 2 hours or so, and there are some areas that are flooded, but we have quick runoff, so it is not sustained flooding. Nonetheless, I instructed the superintendent to do assessment of the area so we can have final details what has contributed to the flooding or the extent of the damage, if there is any. So I will get that information later on today to tomorrow.
Videos circulating online show roads completely flooded. In one video, a car is almost underwater. Mayor Vernon says some of the areas that have experienced excessive flooding include Catherine Hall and St. James Street.
The reports that are coming into the office about the roads flooded include the following list: Westgate, the Barnett Street, Westgate area, Oak Village, the road leading to Bogue Village, which is Temple Gallery, the roadway Theodore Whitmore Drive in the vicinity of the Catherine Hall Stadium, the Catherine Hall roadway where the Perimeter Road project is being done, St. James Street in the vicinity of the intersection of James Street, Union Street area, the lower section of Creek Street area that is close to the South Gully. Those are the areas that we got the reports on, and we should get some more information by later on this afternoon.
Richard Vernon, Mayor of Montego Bay. Those were the headlines at 6. I am Shalois Michael. Sports is next.
Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited are authorized distributors of international brands ABB, Omron, STC, Festo, and Thomas & Betts. They supply programmable logic controllers, photoelectric and proximity sensors, contactors and soft starters, power supplies, variable frequency drives, and much more. Visit them at 24 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston, or shop 32 Overton Plaza, 46 Union Street, Montego Bay, or visit their website cleasling.net. Cleasing Industrial Supplies for all your industrial automation and control solutions.
Freedom, speed, agility, intelligence, friendship. These are the hallmarks that define the dolphin, the master of the seas, and are the hallmarks that inspire Sterling Asset Management. For over 20 years, we have provided investment products that give our clients financial freedom, and our service is fast, insightful, warm, and genuine. Sterling Asset Management, intelligent investing for the intelligent investor.
Why free? Every community, the citizen security plan, yeah, it need all our way. Yo, make your vote. Everybody want a safer country right now. Why free? Every community, the citizen security plan, yeah, it need all our way. Yo, make your vote. Every Jamaican proud to turn it up. Stand up. That one and name CSP. What up? Marcus education and the key. Start up. Crime prevention better than cure. Lock the gun there. Open more door. The youth them at the future check them heads as well. Professional help protect the mental health. Squaddy everybody a link and give a strength. Everybody all a government unity strength. What free? Every community, the citizen security plan, yeah, it need all our way. Yo, make your vote. Everybody want a safer country right now.
The Citizen Security Plan is an initiative of the Ministry of National Security in partnership with the European Union. It's an all-of-government effort to create safer streets and build stronger communities. Go to mns.gov.jm to learn how you can play your part.
Good evening with your sports report. I'm Alric Swaby.
And I'm Maureen Buchanan.
We start with track and field as Jamaica will go in search of more medals on Thursday's day 7 of competition at the World Athletics Championships. At 6:55 a.m., Shanika Ricketts and Akila Smith will go in the final of the women's triple jump. National record holder Rashid McDonald will be the country's lone representative in the final of the men's 400 meters at 8:10. At 8:24 a.m., Nikki Surprise will be in the final of the women's 400 meters. Lamara Distin will feature in the heats of the women's high jump at 5:15 a.m., while the trio of Adele Tracy, Kelly Ann Beckford and Natasha Gould-Toppin will go in the heats of the women's 800 meters at 5:55 a.m. Christopher Taylor, Adrian Kerr and Brian Lavelle will contest the men's 200 meters semis at 7:02. Serica Jackson and Ashanti Moore will feature in the women's 200 meters semis at 7:24.
Tajay Gale added a silver medal to Jamaica's medal tally after leaping to a season's best 8.34 meters at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. The country's medal now stands at 6 with 1 gold, 4 silver and a bronze. The 2019 world champion from Doha, while speaking with Nationwide, Wayne Walker explained that a switch in camp from MVP to coach Kerry Lee Ricketts has worked wonders in his life.
It done a lot for me, especially mental-wise. You know, I don't have to worry about much now. Especially, I know of my circle. My circle, my immediate circle. Feel a lot of people that only wants best for me, you know. Not saying that the camp that I left MVP was that bad, but for me, really, it was too harsh on me. Too much. I won't go to that, but yeah. So, training with Shanika and Mr. Ricketts, especially Mr. Ricketts, you know, he was a very optimistic person. Always, you know, bring the vibes and bring the motivation, even if me not have any. So was a very healthy environment to train in.
Tajay Gill.
Now from long jump to triple jump, as Jordan Scott took only 2 attempts to secure his spot in Friday's final after a 17.19 meters effort at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. Scott's mark was only bettered by Algeria's Yasser Mohammed, who jumped 17.26 meters in the qualification phase. Scott shared that a slight tweak in how he approached the jumping board this season is allowing him to reap good rewards.
We had a bit of an issue with the approach in Zurich. Just coming from that, we knew that we had some stuff to figure out. I think we were able to get some good work done. Honestly, I think we're in a very good place. Today, it was more so just being safe and getting through the qualification because I knew I could do it. And I think we'll just be able to unleash on Friday.
The former champion college standout who will be partaking in Friday's final added that he felt good during qualification earlier today.
To be able to get it done on 2 and to end healthily, I feel good. And I'm looking forward to Friday. I think at one point in life, I still do. I thought of these individuals as like idols. You have the greats of Pichardo, Zango, and the Diaz and all of them, and to be able to compete amongst them this entire season. And, getting a little beatings here and there. It's a confidence booster. They got me in Zurich, so I guess it's my turn to get them back here.
Jordan Scott.
Now Cheyenne Sama would be the country's sole representative in the final of the women's 400-meter hurdles. This after finishing second in semi-final 3 in a season's best time of 54.03 seconds. Teammate Anjanette Knight missed out on a spot after she crossed the tape in 54.35 to finish 5th in semi-final 1. In her post-race interview, Salmon expressed that despite having challenges all season, she's taking each race in strides.
I've been having some challenges this season, as I disclosed earlier, so I just have to thank God that I made it this far. Still enduring, but I guess it's just the life of an athlete, so we just have to take it as it goes along. Like I said, I'm just taking it a step at a time. I just got a season best again, and we're just looking to continue moving forward.
In the men's equivalent, the pair of Rashawn Clark and Malik James King failed to book a spot in the final after they both finished 4th in the semis.
That was Nationwide's World Championships Roundup. Now to football, as defending champions Paris Saint-Germain made a powerful statement in the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday, cruising to a 4-0 victory over Italian side Atalanta at the Parc des Princes. In front of a packed home crowd, PSG displayed the form that brought them continental glory last season, dominating possession and carving open Atalanta's defence with ease. Meanwhile, Liverpool outscored Atletico Madrid 3-2 in their Champions League group stage clash at Anfield. The Reds came flying out the blocks, stunning the visitors with 2 goals in the opening 6 minutes. In other results, Inter Milan beat Ajax 2-0 and Bayern Munich beat Chelsea 3-1.
Now to cricket. Veteran cricket commentator Joseph Reds Pereira has expressed serious concerns about the 50-member squad selected for the West Indies' upcoming Test tour of India. Pereira questioned both the composition of the team and the limited time allocated for preparation. The West Indies are set to play 2 Test matches against India from October 2nd to 14th, with matches scheduled in Ahmedabad and Delhi. The 2-match Test series will be part of the ICC's World Test Championship cycle, adding extra pressure on the Caribbean side to perform. Pereira is alarmed by the lack of preparation time and the readiness of the players for such a challenging tour.
The recall of Chandra Paul, who had a very poor 4-day season, eventually was out of the side because of injury, and I'm unaware that he's played any cricket recently. Graves has been named, and he has been injured out of the CPL, and yet again, Jason Holder has been overlooked, as if they're saying to Jason Holder, your Test career has ended. You will only play T20. They're taking Carey Peer in place of Moti. But Peer has had no experience abroad, never played any Test cricket, even in the Caribbean. And there's a report out of Georgetown that Shamar Joseph may be suffering a little bit from the shoulder injury when taking that superb catch that Deepish made on, flat out like a goalkeeper, when they played against the Royals. So is he fit for the CPL? Will he be fit for the series? And of course, the underlying surprise that we will have only 5 days of preparation before we play the first test in India on October the 2nd.
Joseph Fritz Pereira.
Finally, in Paralympics, the Jamaica Paralympics Association and Uber are deepening their partnership to ensure para-athletes have greater access to training and competition. The collaboration will soon deliver a free Uber ride program for all registered para-athletes, a groundbreaking initiative to be launched in time for the Jamaica Parasport Festival on October 4. President of the JPA, Christopher Samuda, says this initiative reflects a growing relationship between Uber and the JPA, one rooted in a shared commitment to breaking down barriers and empowering athletes.
We're moving in Paralympic sports, not only on the field of play, but in the boardroom, where managerial and technical decisions are taken so that Jamaica will impact the development of this multi-sport global movement. So by LA 2028, by those games, trust me, Jamaica will have a strong cohort of qualified coaches, classifiers, technical officials, and we will have them across several sports. We are retooling the local machinery in Paralympic sports. We are taking a foundational approach to building the house on the rock.
The renewed partnership was forged earlier this year during the visit of International Paralympic Committee President Andrew Parsons and America's Paralympic Committee Executive Director Michelle Formont, marking a significant milestone in the movement to support parasport in Jamaica. Samuda says the collaboration carries a meaning far greater than logistics.
This capacity building push by the Jamaica Paralympic Association demonstrates our deep commitment to the philosophy and strategic pathway of constructing from the grassroots in creating what I've always termed as a reservoir that will provide a stream of talented sportsmen and women, competent classifiers, expert coaches, and, critically, sport administrators in several sports across the spectrum of Paralympism.
Christopher Samuda. I'm Alric Swiby.
I'm Maureen Buchanan. That's your sports.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:21.
Still sweating with that old fan? It's time to upgrade! Meet Glacier, the AC unit that thinks for you. Energy efficient to slash your power bill. Wi-Fi enabled so you can control it from your phone. And self-cleaning because you've got better things to do. Powerful, smart, hassle-free. Call now at 876-923-6521-3. Geddes Refrigeration Limited, delivering the perfect cooling solution tailored to your needs.
Home is closer than you think when you save towards your dream home with the Home Owner's Savings Plan, or HOSP, from CIBC Caribbean. With HOSP, you unlock preferential interest rates to earn more interest on your savings and pay less with a discounted mortgage rate. You can even borrow up to an additional US $5,000 or its equivalent to help you with your closing costs. Get home faster when you save the HOSP way with CIBC.
Jamaica's largest tile selection just got even bigger. Discover what's new at Active Home Center. With our latest arrivals, it's easier than ever to make your space truly unique. Explore ocean blues, botanical greens, and soft sandy neutrals that bring a calm, effortless vibe. From bold patterns to sleek, large format tiles in glossy or matte finishes, every room makes a statement. Shop now at Active Kingston and Montego Bay. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices. Tune in to Cliff Hughes Online with George Davis on Friday, September 19 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we broadcast live from the Jamaica Agribusiness Investment Forum at the Montego Bay Convention Center. Under the theme, Sustainable Agribusiness, Global Reach, Local Impact, this international forum will showcase investment opportunities, flagship projects, and the official deal book. Over 600 in-person attendees and 1,000 virtual participants, including investors, agri-entrepreneurs, policymakers, and global leaders. Don't miss the chance to be part of Jamaica's agricultural transformation. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online with George Davis, Friday, September 19 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the Jamaica Agribusiness Investment Forum at the Montego Bay Convention Center. Catch us live on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2 or turn your radios to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Agro Investment Corporation, Jamaica Stock Exchange, the Coconut Industry Board, Walkerswood, the Jamaica Customs Agency, Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority, and Jamaica Agricultural Regulatory Authority, JACRA.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Evening and welcome to Public Opinion here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Special good evening to our YouTubers. We invite you to weigh in live in the comment section for today's Public Opinion. And today's topic is about the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. He gave his inaugural speech yesterday after being sworn in as Prime Minister for the fourth time in his political career. And during that speech, he called for national unity as he begins this third straight term in office. He says the time has come for the country to move beyond the general election. He asked opposition leader Mark Golding to recommit to making Jamaica a republic. And this was as he was officially sworn in for a fourth time as head of government in a ceremony at King's House on Tuesday afternoon. He also emphasized the successes of his past administrations. So in Public Opinion today, we ask, what was your highlight? Yeah? What was your highlight? What was your biggest takeaway from the Prime Minister's inauguration? Let's go over to Instagram. So we got one JJ Boss says the inclusion of everyone at the swearing-in ceremony after party, regardless of economic background or community. That was my highlight. Chansley says the time has come. Gloria Watson says Mr. Vegas's performance. Will Ryan Wilson says my highlight was the PM's call for the nation's healing and his invitation to the PNP to join in the fight for a better Jamaica. Yeah. What else do we have here? Yeah, so that's what we have so far on Instagram, folks. But what says X? Very interesting ceremony. It's the first time I was lucky enough to get the call up to go to the inauguration live. First time I've ever done that in my life, and it was quite an event. It was a very amazing thing to witness taking place in front of me. But if we go over to X, we got third term. This person's username is third term. He says the highlight was the PM's speech. The lowlights was, I believe, the opposition leader he's referring to, disrespecting the Jamaican process and people by remaining seated when the PM entered and finished his address. So that's what we have on X. Then we're going to check over to Facebook, see what folks are saying over there. What was their highlight from the Prime Minister's address? The Prime Minister's inauguration. It doesn't even have to be from his speech, but in terms of the entire ceremony, what did you like the most? That's what we're asking the folks over on Facebook. Let's take a look. All right. Philip Jackson says he was not beating a drum of victory, but he was humbled to be given a next chance to finish the work he has started. And in the interest of Jamaica, he gave the opposition leader an olive branch for Jamaica's sake. All right. Audley Nain says, I was impressed by the PM's appeal to the opposition leader Mark Golding to join hands in working together for a better Jamaica. All right. Robert Ranger says there was no low or highlights. Okay. Neil Walters says that he has indicated to continue to build on what he has already started. What else do we have here? Michelle Bernard says, time come to unite and build Jamaica, and the accusatory fingering of persons needs to stop. Jamaican Plug says him turning up to the I guess him in this case is the Prime Minister, turning up to the inauguration with his nuclear family and extended family. Okay. Prince Wellington. What else we got here? Clifton Russell. And they round out Facebook. But what says the YouTubers? Talk to me. What was your highlight from the inauguration yesterday? Very regal event. I've only been to King's House 3 times in my life. 2 times as a journalist, and such an amazing event to be at in person. Oh, we have here Eldon Lewis. There we go. Eldon Lewis says the road to republic. I believe he's referencing the Prime Minister's call to the opposition to help complete the process, the constitutional reform process, so that Jamaica can be a republic. C. Hilton says the PM calling for unity with the opposition, and Mr. Vegas getting the audience on its feet. There we go. John Brown says the difference in entertainers who stick with the JLP. Okay. Patrick Samuels, the fact that I was present at the ceremony. Oh, there you go, Patrick. That makes 2 of us. What else we got here? I'm checking through the YouTube chats. Economic growth can end absolute poverty, says Wise Emissary. And Mr. Vegas's performance, says Devon Rumble. We got Glenn. Glenn says the PM was progressive and conciliatory. He takes the enormous task ahead very seriously. Okay. Neville Bennett says the PM's call for national unity is the main highlight, the low side being Mark Golding's demeanor at the inauguration. Okay. All right, folks. So that's what we have so far. Everton says the time has come to choose Jamaica. That's Everton Williams in the YouTube chat. And the Prime Minister's family, says John Burton. And I tell you what, man, there are a couple members of the Prime Minister's family I don't think I'd ever seen before. I'd never seen his brother before until yesterday. His brother with the locks. We've seen his sons already. We've seen his mom. We've seen his dad. I've seen his dad on Instagram. He posted a picture of him and his father on Instagram for Father's Day. So I had seen most of the family already, I guess. But there was a lot more there than we're normally used to. So that was pretty nice to see. The PM's 2 sons, says Marcia Favor. Roxanne Wellington says Mr. Vegas's item and action Anne's happy-go-lucky self. Yeah, San Marie Vaz. What else we got here? The 2 brothers were there, says View. Indeed. What else we got here? The PM's humility, says Morris Thomas. Okay. What we got here? Mama Cohen says, Mr. Prime Minister, I think Mark's going to work with them. Think again. Okay. What we got here? Unclenched fists and unfolding of the arms, meaning time to work. That's what Jackie says. And Bishop Hero Blair's prayer, says Patrick Holness. Okay. All right. Yeah, so very interesting ceremony. Not used to being at such a national event with that many important people in one place. It's definitely something I'm going to remember for a very long time in my career. The Bishop's prayer was outstanding too, says Neville Bennett. So we got 2 people talking about Bishop Blair's prayer. That's nice to see. Mildred Hamilton says the PM's appeal for unity from the opposition leader in the interest of Jamaica. There we go. All right. So I think, is this where we end? Are we going to get any more? We're going to get any more reactions to the inauguration? Ronald Grant says, my highlight was Mark Golding's disrespect of the protocol. I must check though. I mean, what he's speaking about, I'm seeing people saying that he didn't stand when the Prime Minister came. I'd have to double check that, see if that was A, true, and B, if that is breach of protocol. Was he the only one? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and check, but a lot of people are saying so. What else we got here? Is that it? I think that's it, man. Well, it is. So that's the end of Public Opinion. Thank you very much, as always, for participating. And now it's time for the business report. Let's get to it.
Public Opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:32.
Visit Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore for all your prescription needs, gifts, personal care, household and stationery items. The temperature by Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore is...
It's 27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 in Montego Bay. Good evening and welcome to the Business Report. I'm Mahiri Stewart. First Rock Real Estate Investment Limited and its subsidiary FCH Jamaica Developers Limited have cleared their obligations to Sagicor Bank Jamaica Limited. That's according to a statement from the firm on Tuesday. First Rock says it fully repaid all of its obligations to Sagicor through a corporate note structured and arranged by Mayberry Investments Limited. First Rock says this repayment marks the formal exit from receivership in relation to the real estate project at Bamboo Avenue. Sagicor placed the lands under mortgages for the Hambani Estate development into receivership in June of this year. Hambani Estates, First Rock's flagship development project, situated at 1-3 Bamboo Avenue, Kingston 6, consists of 12 townhouses that cost between $1.8 million and $2 million US. First Rock says the company is extremely pleased to have completed the restructuring of its debt. It sincerely thanked its stakeholders who assisted in this regard. Major U.S. tech firms have pledged tens of billions of pounds worth of investment in the UK, with Nvidia Jensen Huang predicting the country will become an AI superpower. The biggest single investment comes from Microsoft, which has announced a $30 billion spending package, its largest ever outside the US. It's part of a £31 billion agreement dubbed the Tech Prosperity Deal between the UK government and several US tech giants as part of President Donald Trump's second state visit to the UK. Mr. Huang told BBC News that this is the week that he declares the UK will be an AI superpower. He said the UK had the expertise and research facilities to excel in AI, but what was missing was the AI infrastructure. AI relies on large banks of servers run on computer chips like those made by Nvidia to operate. Nvidia is partnering with British infrastructure company Nscale to build more such data centers in the UK. And finally, in the currency markets, it cost 160 Jamaican dollars and 87 cents to buy $1 US. It costs 218 Jamaican dollars and 76 cents to buy $1 British pound, and it costs 118 Jamaican dollars and 93 cents to buy $1 Canadian dollar. That's the Business Report. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Stay tuned for more.
Are you ready for something mega?
Spend $6,500 or more before GCT. Drop your entry in the box and you can win a 2025 Hyundai Tucson. It's the Mega Wheels Tour promotion. April 5th to September 28th. Second prize, a $50,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Third prize, a $30,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Brought to you by Hyundai, Redstone, Heineken, True Milk, Race, Walker's Wood, Downing, CPJ Daiquiri, and Carryburst. Choose Concentrate. Only at Megamart. Locations island-wide. Megamart. Best value by far. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Delicious meals, poolside cocktails, right on the beach. Disconnect from your daily worries and reconnect with the one you love. There's no paradise like home. This summer, enjoy a romantic all-inclusive escape at Couples Tower Isle, Couples Sans Souci, Couples Negril, or Couples Swept Away from $295 USD per night. Take advantage of this offer today by visiting Couples Resorts at couples.com. Conditions apply.
Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, is a financial reporting firm that delivers accounting and compliance services on time. Call us today at 876-908-0486-7. Email us at clientservices@cocnjamaica.com or visit our website at www.cocnjamaica.com. COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
Taboo topics. Boy things after dark.
Riveting discussions.
Celebrity news and interviews.
Topics that are shunned by society.
And everything else in between. Boyatings After Dark with Kareem Boyatings each and every Wednesday, 8 to 11 p.m. Boyatings After Dark. No topic is too taboo or hard to discuss. Come get your mind blown and your curiosity explored. Boyatings After Dark.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's Word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of The Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business is...
Track and Field's global showpiece heads back to Asia for its 2025 staging. The World Athletics Championships from Tokyo, Japan is live on Nationwide 90 FM. September 13 to 21.
Great start from Seville, who's got a little bit of a march on Noel Lyles. Seville's going to win this. Brilliant race. He even has time to salute.
How will the Jamaicans stack up? The likes of Kishane, Oblique, Nikisha, Tina, Sherika, and Lavelle, all seeking podium spots.
Really good running on the near side too from Tia Clayton. Tia Clayton takes it there.
And the world will say goodbye to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Watch for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
She brings the curtain down on her 18-year career. She goes back to where it all started.
And she's going to do it. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Live every moment from the World Athletics Championships from Tokyo, Japan, September 13 to 21 live with a kind of coverage only Nationwide 90 FM provides.
Due to our live broadcast of the World Athletics Championship in Tokyo, Japan, scheduled to run from September 12 to 20, there will be no airing of Nationwide this morning. The early morning news package will resume following the conclusion of the games. Nationwide apologizes for the inconvenience caused.
Good evening to you. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. I'm Ricardo Brooks, and let me say thank you to Siobhan Campbell for holding down the fort for me. As a little detained. Hello, Sanjay.
Hi, Ricardo. How are you?
I'm doing very well, my friend. How are you?
I'm well. It was a busy day today. Interesting day, I will say.
Yes, indeed. It's all about the Blue Run 5K, yes? And prostate cancer is the number one cancer affecting men in Jamaica and across the Caribbean. Despite advancements in treatment, too many men are still diagnosed at late stages due to limited access to screening, lack of public education, stigma, and gaps in healthcare access, particularly in rural and underserved communities. The Blue Run, which is powered by Guardian Life, has become a national platform for driving awareness, education, and action on this critical issue. The third staging of the run, powered by Guardian Life, is slated for Sunday, September 21, 2025, and Alfred Francis, who is the Managing Director of Running Events Jamaica, and consultant urologist Dr. Belinda Morrison Blidgen at the UHWI join us now to explore the cultural, structural and economic barriers contributing to Jamaica's high prostate cancer mortality rate and the national efforts being made to close those gaps by entities and initiatives like the Blue Run, organized by Running Events. Good evening.
Pleasant good evening to your listeners and to yourself and to Belinda.
All right.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us. Alfred Francis, let me start with you. Talk to me about what inspired this inception of the Blue Run, and why is it called the Blue Run?
Well, blue is a color that stands for, represent prostate cancer. It's like how you'll have the pink run for breast cancer. The blue is synonymous with prostate cancer. And I've been there many different causes. I was there when Sandra Samuels and myself started the Pink Run, which was in 2000. And we have seen how it has built the awareness. And we thought that, the prostate cancer we need to bring awareness where screening is concerned, because early detection is the major awareness that we need to instill in the minds of our men. My father died from prostate cancer, and I have always had it in the back of my mind that I would be, what should I say, genetically prone to having prostate cancer. So I have been seeing Dr. Belinda for quite a few years, doing my regular checks and doing my PSA, etc. And I want to bring that to the wider community, because the fact is that so many men find out that they have prostate cancer at a late stage when, it's terminal. And the fact is that you don't have to die from prostate cancer or any cancer at all. You just need to check regularly. And so early detection, you can find remedies and avert, that cumulative effect which results in you depriving your family of yourself, depriving your community of yourself, and depriving Jamaica of yourself. So hence, I would say 4 years ago, with a multiplicity of thought and influence, we decided we would do the prostate cancer run, the Blue Run, and Running Events took it on itself to do it. And, the economics of it was not what we are having now with the support of Guardian Life, but we did it anyway because we know that the cause is a wholesome and, wholesome task, and we needed to do it. And I must say that I am pleased with what I see happening around us, not only from from Blue Run, but I see other entities. And maybe because I am driving a blue car now, I see all the other blues out there. But the fact is that I think, though it has grown, the awareness has grown, and the phobia which affects our men folk, we have to dispel it, men, and because the fact is that when you have prostate cancer and it's fully blown in you, you wouldn't mind anybody poking you anywhere. But the fact is that there's so much support for it. The fact is that the PSA is something that's available. The National Health Fund assists with economic support where that's concerned, to the tune of getting every man who would sign up with a National Health Fund would be able to get $1,900 support to go to a lab and do a PSA test. So I must say that there is absolutely wonderful support where it is concerned. And we have wonderful doctors like Dr. Belinda, who goes around. I know this week I can say for sure that she's speaking to 2 corporate entities to take it upon herself to go to these entities and speak to them about the awareness of prostate cancer and other cancers. And the fact is that we are seeing a growing number of persons participating in the Blue Run. In 2000, we set a target. We didn't make half the target. Last year we set the target. We went past the target. This year we have had to close registration today because the overwhelming support that we are getting for the Blue Run.
Yeah.
But September is prostate cancer month. But the fact is that we need to build and still the awareness that is January 1st of January to 31st of December, train of thought that men know that, listen, I must set up a regular schedule where I go and do my PSA. I know Lady Belinda can elaborate more than on the medical aspect of it.
Right, which is what we want to throw to her now. Let's hear, before we come back to you, Alfred, from Dr. Belinda. What are some of those harmful myths and misconception about prostate cancer screening?
Yeah, so the first thing is, I think that many of our men are very afraid of doing the testing because they perceive that doing the rectal examination is going to violate them. They think it's a painful test. They think it's a test that takes a long time. But these are some of the challenges that we face. Just the testing is an issue, the rectal exam. But I think it goes beyond that. There's also the fear of what will come down the road if you're diagnosed. In terms of the treatment, some of the side effects, they're very, very afraid of the side effects. And they're also afraid of what will happen to them once they're diagnosed with a disease and what it means for them, their masculinity, and their role in the family. Because face it, once somebody hears the term cancer, they fear that it's going to take their life. Most people think that cancer will kill you. And they have to understand that, yes, there's a variety of aggressiveness or varying aggressiveness of prostate cancer. Some men have what we call indolent disease that may not really affect them. Others may have aggressive disease. But beyond that, if it is detected early, the men's lives can be saved. Some men think that, boy, prostate cancer won't kill them. So really they shouldn't even go and check because they've been told it's an old man disease and it's not going to kill them. And I've seen men in their 40s and 50s, previously healthy men, busy men having, a large workload and have a family that die from prostate cancer because it's detected late. And they don't even get a chance to fight or to have this disease, any attempts to have this disease cured. So we face it every day. And, the opening statement that you made was quite correct. It's a disease that can be treated. There's been a lot of advancements in treatment, advancements in screening modalities, yet in our population we're still seeming to be always losing, it appears, because there are these generalized myths and there are also these fears that are pervasive. So we have to do better, and one of the benefits of doing the Blue Run is public education. The run becomes something that is annual. More and more persons tune in, more and more persons get involved. They hear about this story about prostate cancer. They want to get involved. People who run or who do not run can let their family members know, and you can cause an effect in change. So women will call their doctors and say, listen, see my husband for me, see my brother for me, get him checked. And it's not to scare them, but to recognize the importance of the disease.
Yes. And Alfred Francis, Sunday, September 21, that's the date of the run. Talk to us about the course.
Okay, so Sunday, September 21, our run. Our staging area is in the beautiful Emancipation Park in New Kingston. We have a wonderful route which starts at Oxford Road outside the park. It turns onto Belmont Road, continues on to Worthington, turns at the junction of Trafalgar Road and Worthington, where you can look across and see the Guardian Life building. You turn left on Trafalgar Road, turning left on Knoxford Boulevard, right on Trinidad Terrace, right on Grenada Crescent, follow Grenada Crescent until you come out on Knoxford Boulevard again. You turn left on Knoxford, left on Trafalgar once more. You continue onwards to Ruthven Road, you turn left on Ruthven Road, travel all the way to Arbitrary Road, turn left, and then you come back to Oxford Road where you have the finish. The event will be chip time using our MyLapse timing system, which maintains the integrity of the event and also gives each individual their personal time. And when I say their personal time, their time when they cross the mat at the start and the time when they cross the mat at the finish. There will be lots of music, so you can run, you can walk, and you can dance. There will be hydration station. I've always said that we're medically prepared with no desire to use our medical team. And each runner bib collection starts tomorrow at the Guardian Life Sports Club on Upper Musgrave Road, and it starts from 11 to 4 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, and on Saturday from 1 to 3. Now, persons will collect their bibs with their chips, and they will also collect a shirt. And sometimes I say, why a shirt? We have made an attractive shirt that persons will want to wear after the event. And in so doing, they will carry the message of prostate cancer awareness around after the event. So they'll collect their shirt, their bib, and on race day, when you come to the finish line, we want to reward every participant with a wonderful memorabilia, which is a beautiful blue medal. So I invite persons to turn up early. Don't think that it's a 15-minute drive from home to the park on that day, because it may become an hour and 15-minute drive when 1,000 cars are coming. We have ample parking around the park, DDJ, PIOJ, Sagicor, all our partners. There are partners who afford us their parking spaces on the weekend, and we are thankful to them. I must thank Guardian Life, who has had prostate cancer in their DNA for a long time, even before we thought of the Blue Rum, and has been supporting the cause. So this is a good marriage, a good synergy, where running events came with a thought and came with an initiative and found a partner like Guardian Life. So the run will start at 6:30 a.m. and we endeavor to respect to our participants to start on time. And then we'll thereafter have the walk event, which will start at 6:30. Warm-up in park will commence at 6:15, and then we will go to the staging area, the start line, and we intend to have a fantastic event. And we must thank all the stakeholders and all the officials. I must thank the running events team for being there, and continue to excel with excellence. And as we support varying causes that are noble causes in Jamaica. I must thank the media, because a lot rests with the media in bringing this message of early detection, and it's simple, early detection. And for all the men folks, let me tell them, I have had rectal examination, I have done MRIs, I can't remember the last one I did, my doctor can tell me, but, all the examination, because it's good. You are always nervous when you do your test, that the results could be negative or the results could be positive, but it's better to find out early. And with regular checks, even if it's positive, it's early in the early stages. So if you want to check every 6 months, you can. If you want to check annually, you can. But checking is really the thing. And mothers, brothers, sisters, excite everyone, encourage everyone to go and check. There's nothing wrong with it. And as Doc explained so wonderfully, that there's nothing really to fear once you detect early. So my men folk, I'm just saying to you, man up and go get the check. Your family needs you, your community needs you, and Jamaica needs you.
And Dr. Belindo, what role can families and the communities play in encouraging men to take their health seriously?
The community is exceptionally important. I'll tell you this, but in my practice and in my office, many a times it's the women who either make the appointments for the first visit or set the reminders and tell their husbands, listen, come back in and sit down, or they may call or send a message with their latest lab results. The wives, the partners have to be supportive. They have to remember, because sometimes the men are busy, and so you have to support in terms of the reminders for the checks. And if it is that a diagnosis is unfortunately made, to be there, to be present, to let them know, listen, you're no less of a man. They'll support them in all throughout the treatment, regardless of what side effects may come, and provide some support. The church provides support as well, for faith and giving them hope, because as I said, the big C, or the cancer, is something that creates a lot of fear, but it does not have to be. So men need to, get courageous, get these tests done. It really is very simple. the DRE, if even done, is not really a major thing. It's a major thing, really is to get this PSA done and make sure that you know your numbers every single year.
Mm-hmm.
The test should start at age 40. It should be done once a year, starting at age 40.
Yeah. And Alfred Francis, in terms of the proceeds from this year's Blue Run, what do those proceeds go towards?
Oh, yes. Our proceeds this year are earmarked for the neurology department of the University Hospital of the West Indies. They're in need of infrastructural upgrade, and things are looking good for them with the level of participation that we have had. Last year, we contributed to Brothers United Against Prostate Cancer, and this is a group who is affiliated to the Jamaica Cancer Society, and they offer support, emotional, every type of support to men who are challenged mentally about doing prostate examination and men who are diagnosed with prostate cancer. And they serve as living examples of men who detected, taking remedial action, and are living testaments today that they're up and about, going about business and living a normal life.
All right. Well, that's the Blue Run, organized by Running Events, yeah? And it's powered by Guardian Life. It's happening on Sunday, September 21, 2025. Where do people sign up, Frano?
Well, persons can sign up at runningeventsja.com, but as I said earlier, we have had overwhelming support, and we have reached our capacity, and we have closed registration amongst all the participants. And I guess we underestimated the power of the blue.
Yeah, yes.
And, we want to know that we have a medal for everybody and a shirt for everybody who has registered. So we might ask persons who want to register and don't think of receiving a shirt, that we might offer them an opportunity to do so. So I am just waiting for the feedback from my team and what the groundswell looks like.
All right. So the Blue Run, it's for a worthy cause, yeah? Raising awareness about prostate cancer. Very, very important issue. We had with us Managing Director of Running Events Jamaica, Alfred Francis, and Consultant Urologist, Dr. Belinda Morrison Blidgen of the UHWI. Thank you both so much. I appreciate it. And all the best with the run.
Thank you very much.
All right. It's time for the watch. Or what? It's time for Boog's favorite segment, The Watchman. And then we'll take your calls. You know the number as well. 630-937-124, 618-8255.
Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Do it for your best life.
The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is...
It's 7 o'clock.
The Watchman. Exploring issues shaping our society, government, and business. Provocative, unconventional. Dr. Henley Morgan is The Watchman.
Good evening. Humble in victory, gracious in defeat. Part 2. Country and Western singer Mac Davis, in a 1974 epic song, dropped the line, "Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you are perfect in every way." Boxer Muhammad Ali put a twist on it. He famously said, "It's hard to be humble when you are the greatest." The boast, which has become a quotable quote, expresses a truism. The seeming inability of a self-important and egotistical person to be genuinely humble. At no time is this more evident than when one has vanquished an imposing foe. The natural, almost ingrained tendency is for one to gloat, to beat one's chest, and to declare invincibility, forgetting for the moment the oft-repeated Jamaican dictum, "Today for you, tomorrow for me." It is for this reason that we are encouraged to be humble in victory. Humility, one of the greatest human virtues, is not genetic. It is not acquired at birth. It has to be learned. And so, we often fail the test when it matters most, such as when a leader of a political party gives a victory speech. Did Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness pass or fail the humility test when he gave his victory speech following announcement of the result of a hard-fought and contentious campaign in the recent general election? You be the judge. Following is a short excerpt from what he said. I quote in part. After all the attacks, the lies, the rumors, the innuendos, I am still solid as a rock. They just can't stop me now. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Excerpt from this victory speech of the Honorable Prime Minister. What does the research say about how to be humble in victory? 1. Thank the Almighty and the voters for giving you the victory. 2. Express that it was a team effort and thank those who fought the good fight with you. 3. Acknowledge the opponent for putting up a good fight. 4. No blame finding or finger pointing. 5. Give a clear signal that the campaign is over. 6. Show empathy toward those who didn't get the result they want. 7. Make a clear statement that you represent all interests. 8. No ego or superiority complex. Make it more about the people and less about you. 9. In victory, say what lessons there are to be learned. 10. Resist prompting by diehards to serve political red meat. Say just enough and stop. At the end of a rambling speech, characterized by finger-pointing and steeped in self-pity, Dr. Holness turned to reveal these words on the back of his campaign blazer. 1 p.m. Not the best victory speech, judged by the Prime Minister's own high standards. Think on these things.
Produced by Agency for Inner City Renewal, AIR, and recorded in the Jamming Studio Trenchtown, a breath of fresh air bringing change to the inner city.
Visit idleawhile.com or call 876-957-3302. Idle a while and stay a while.
Track and Field's global showpiece heads back to Asia for its 2025 staging. The World Athletics Championships from Tokyo, Japan is live on Nationwide 90 FM. September 13 to 21.
Great start from Seville, who's got a bit of a march on. No Lyles. Seville's going to win this. Brilliant Riz. He even has time to salute.
How will the Jamaicans stack up? The likes of Kishane, Oblique, Nikisha, Tina, Sherika, and Lavelle, all seeking podium spots.
Really good running on the near side too from Tia Clayton. Tia Clayton takes it there.
And the world will say goodbye to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Watch for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
She brings the curtain down on her 18-year career. She goes back to where it all started.
And she's going to do it. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Live every moment from the World Athletics Championships from Tokyo, Japan, September 13 to 21 live with a kind of coverage only Nationwide 90 FM provides.
Jamaica's poverty rate has dropped from 16.7% to 8.2%. As the government's economic program begins to pay off, our country is heading towards sustained growth. We are building Jamaica. The time by the office of the Prime Minister is...
It's 7 minutes after 7. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. You are tuned in to the call-in segment now. We're taking your calls. The numbers are 630-937-124, 618-8255. Faithful, you're up first.
Good evening, Sanjay. Good evening, Ricardo.
Good evening.
Hello, Faithful.
I'm very fine, thank you. Good. Okay, the Prime Minister speech yesterday. I love the fact that he say finger pointing is over. It's time for us to look forward. And I like the fact that he extend our open arm to Mr. Golden, particularly on the constitutional reform bill. I pray and hope that Mr. Golden would take it up, and for the benefit of Jamaica, that we see some progress in that direction. Thing to do very early on, to lessen conflict and confusion. The Portmore statehood, if he's not going to do it within the first year, I think he should forget about it. I don't like the fact that you have to wait for the last moment, then he start to do things that should have done. Take care of the low hanging fruit first. And I would encourage some of our callers, if the Prime Minister say he extend on the freedom, I think we should forget about the bitterness. Like some who ask that you should not shake each other's hand because it's going to finger and all this. I think that those things are irrelevant. What says thou?
Sanjay?
Yeah, I agree that the elections, it's over, and it's now time to focus on building the country and moving forward with the proposal. The people have selected, or the majority, they have selected the JLP, and it is now for both the government extending that hand to the opposition, but also equally important, the opposition extending their hand to the government to for both government and opposition to work.
Yeah, we should seek peace first, and then if peace fails, then we can start to say, well, it's not part of my one that we did not explain. And this thing about the white man and gold in a foreign city, I think we should give that a rest now, and for the benefit of Jamaica, we should look forward to that. Yeah,
that's important. There are certain rhetoric that we have heard on the campaign that we need to put to the side now. It's serious time now. Yeah, focus on development.
Some of us like to express too much bitterness, and you must not shake each other's hand, and if you do that, some of us can forget some of the bitterness. Now, please, I would really appreciate it.
I'll say this, Faithful. Unity can only exist in an environment of truth and good faith.
Agree.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people are acting in good faith. Yeah.
No, but give that chance. But you would also agree that we should first give that try to fail first. I don't think we should think that individually is not ready for. Though at shows such might think that our individual be. Let them prove themselves to be not what we think they should be. What do you think about that?
I'll respond with a quote. Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, you should believe them the first time.
I believe them, but so are you saying we should put aside hope?
I'm saying believe them the first time.
You see.
Let me be very frank. I don't share your hope or optimism. And I don't share your hope or optimism because, again, people are not acting in good faith. There's nothing to be hopeful about. I'm being very honest. Because I don't see that, and I'm assuming of who you're referring to, Faithful. I don't see any effort that there's going to be good faith. So I don't know what I would base that hope on. What would I base it on? I can't base it on the past. I can't base it on the last 2 weeks after the election. What can I base it on? So no, I will not be hopeful.
I will confess this one thing to you. I believe with all my heart that Mr. Goldie was not very truthful in the election, in the campaigning, and he said a lot of things which we know was not true. But if the Prime Minister can say yesterday that there was a lot of finger pointing, but the campaign is over, I believe we should give peace a chance and let them prove themselves negatively.
All right, hear you, faithful. Thanks for the call. West, good evening.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
You know, I was listening to the Watchman a while ago. I don't know who is watching, but because the Prime Minister referred to some of the things that he goes through the campaign. The Watchman put it in a sense in which that the Prime Minister was not humble, but I wouldn't expect him to speak in a way different because, of course, where he operates his business, he can't speak the truth. And he can't keep silent either. Sometimes silent means consent. But that's, I never get to listen to everything yesterday, and I never get to even hear the full slate of appointees for the new parliament and stuff. But one of my challenge, I spoke to Siobhan yesterday, and I will come back, and every time I get opportunity, I will knock. I don't know if you can get what's his name from Transport and Works. If he can tell us.
Who is that? Who?
He's in response of roads and stuff.
E.G. Hunter?
No. Maybe Hunter too. The spokesperson. Maybe Hunter could assist us too.
Oh, you mean Stephen Shaw?
Stephen Shaw.
Oh,
perfect. Because I need Stephen Shaw to tell Jamaica, not Jamaica, tell Kingston, because I don't think the person out in the other parishes have the issue that we have. Where is the alternative that he is giving us? When he allowed the men then to work in on Seaview Avenue, working on Seymour Avenue, working on Ligani Avenue, working on Monroe Road and Wellington. We have nowhere to drive. It's a disgrace in the morning, in the afternoon, straight throughout. And I'm saying, where are these men? Where the thought process? We talk about low production. How can you produce when the entire city back up with traffic before this condition? And you allow all these things to be happening one time? Because on Ligani Avenue, Ricardo, there's a lot of construction that is going on there presently, right? That creates a level of inconvenience before, but of course it could go through. And there are other construction taking place in and around, so you have a lot of the pre-mixed trucks, not necessarily pre-mixed from Mullins Road, but the trucks that carry the cement. They're all over the place transporting the material, and those huge trucks, when they stop one side, one entire road side blocked off. And you tell me, Stephen Shaw and all of these technocrats never think about us who need to travel back and forth in the day. No consideration. I don't know if you can get him on one of the time and ask him if he could explain to us in Kingston what the thought process behind what they are doing.
But could it be that the contractors could probably organize in a better way so that traffic can somewhat flow and minimize, as you indicated, the blocking of the road at specific period? Could be that.
But if it was one contractor doing everything, I would tend to lean on that side. But it's several different contractors. The contractor that is on Ligani Avenue is not the same that is on Wellington and Monroe. It's not, and Water Commission is a nice culprit in it too, because I'm saying when they are digging up the road, they take nobody else business in consideration. My issue is the whole idea. I am not against development. I'm not against improvement. But I am happy for the improvement and development, but I am also extremely unhappy as to the way they go about doing what they do. That is the issue that many of us have in. They see the persons out into the different parishes, they have the different road challenges. But this is just, for me personally, is just improper planning. You know, and the last drop before me go, Ricardo, if you have 2 games to play, you play 2 football games, right? And in the first game, you cheat and you won the game, right? And you go back for the second half, and then now the other person, the other person outdone you in the game. Would you believe then that the other person cheats too? That's why the other person wins?
Go again.
You play the first game. You play the first match, and because you cheat the game, right? You won handsomely, and then the stand leg come back now. The real big league come play, and you lose. Would you think then that the team beat you because them cheat? You cheat for already, you know. And you lost.
Where are you going with this analogy? What's the point you want to make?
Somebody will help you, and you will figure it out. Because if every time I go home and my wife is away with the key, I go through the window to get inside. Any evening I go home and I have the key and she's inside, she goes through the window too. You will figure it out. Trust me, you will figure it out.
All right, Wes. 630-9371-24-618-8255. Who's next? Lloyd, good evening.
Good evening to both of you.
How are you, my friend? Long time to hear from you.
Just listening and see what I can offer. So I want to offer a suggestion to the powers that be about the voting pertaining to people who don't turn up with their identification cards. I would suggest that they do attend to 10 persons who have their identification go in, and then 2 without identification. Because you're going to have a time when there will not be people with identification cards outside the polling station. That means if you don't have identification card, you are free to go. But so long as there is a line, 10 people with identification card must go first, and then those without identification cards, 2 of them go. Because listen, we have to nip things in the bud before it gets out of hand. There's a saying that if you don't tend to scrape, you're going to have to attend to sore. So make we attend to the scrape now, because if we don't do it, more and more people going to turn up without identification cards and inconvenience those with identification cards. The next thing I would like to suggest, that people with wheelchair be given special attention. This job could be given to the one-day policemen and women, so that we can have a more smoother operation.
All right, Lloyd.
Okay.
Hear you. Thanks for the suggestions. Bobby, good evening.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Sandre.
Good evening, Bobby.
But I noticed that it tone hide from the swearing ceremony, man.
What do you mean?
I
don't think so.
I never seen not one owner there, but I meet my good friend there, man. And the both of us take picture, man. And yeah, man, I have to carry it to him and show it to my wife and my counselor.
What?
And thing and say, look here, see my brethren here from Nationwide, man. I don't know who.
I have an idea. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But I had to work. Somebody had to be here to do the work.
Well, the fact is, when I asked him for you guys, he indicated to me that you're all at work writing news and so on.
Yeah.
You know, but before I touch on that, I want to say to Minister Darrell Vaz, sir, your first appointment when take up office, please work on the contract between the government, the people, and JPS. JPS is an extortionist. We cannot take them anymore. Every month, no one is at my house during the day. And my light bill has been spiraling out of the roof. I wonder if JPS feels a signed contract with DOJ. Or I am doing some money laundering somewhere. No, man, I want Minister Vaz to work on that. The first thing that him should work on is that. Because JPS contract that them get way back there in the 90s, it's not aligned with the people of Jamaica. And the other thing I want to say, you know, the swearing ceremony yesterday, it was a good one. And I'm so happy to see how people from all walks of life and even in the diaspora and so on come out to support 1 p.m. And I just want to say that I am happy in his inauguration speech that he reached out to the leader of the opposition. Although we at the swearing ceremony yesterday, and your colleague from Nationwide can tell you that we have seen a bit of an error there with the leader of the opposition. And, you know, he had to call someone for them to explain the protocol to him. But I think going forward, I don't think any leader of the opposition should really make that error again. And your colleague who was there, he can explain it to you.
All right, Bobby.
Right, you know. So I just want to say that I'm so happy that the swearing ceremony went off well, and I hope between the opposition and the government we can put away differences aside, as what the PM said. Time come, put away differences aside, and let us work together now in unity.
All right,
okay, then, thank you.
Thanks for the call. All right. Don.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, my lovely. How are you?
I am thankful, and how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Hey, Sandra, how are you? Sanjay, not Dre, right?
I'm good. I'm good.
When I'm having these names so close. Sure. Gentle young men, what I think started off all of what is happening now, that the election can be settled down, irresponsible journalism. It started on election night when persons wanted, they kept showing something on the television.
I absolutely agree.
Not like that.
I absolutely agree, Don. It was reckless, and I don't know if it's because people thought it made for good TV, but I really think it did damage. I agree with you 100%.
With the psyche of people, of persons. You know, I had to sit and explain to my neighbor because she said she lock off Cliff Hughes because Cliff Hughes declare, and she was seen on the TV, so I had to sit down, painstakingly explain. It's that we never understand it like this. I said, yes, that's what it, because the Prime Minister, I said, all right, look at it. Do you think those people at Belmont would be gyrating and reveling and enjoying and shouting, and the Prime Minister lost his seat? Come on.
You know what is the unfortunate thing? you have individuals on radio and TV that they don't understand the politics, because the first thing, and I was speaking to Ricardo via message, I was asking, where are the boxes coming from and where are the boxes that are left to be counted? Because you have to look at that. You have to know where those boxes are coming from to determine what is happening. And unfortunately, people don't understand the politics behind that. Don't understand the politics.
But that's just it, Sanjay. Because I saw veteran broadcasters and journalists.
Some of what we train in our house here.
I really wondered whether it was a situation of not knowing or they just thought it made for good TV. Because you're right, on election night, you did message me and ask me where the box is to be, and I told you. And you were like, oh, okay, then it's not a problem.
Yeah. They knew. Everybody knew.
Yeah.
You're talking about veterans.
Yeah, it's elementary. It's elementary political knowledge, as I see Andrea Dunkley saying on YouTube. It really is. Anybody knows that. And it's not just West Central St. Andrew. There's a lot of constituencies are like that. My own East Rural St. Andrew. You have to watch to see what's happening with Harbour View.
Exactly.
You have to watch in Central Manchester what's happening with Belfield. It's not unusual at all. Yeah.
But it was done deliberately to cause mayhem and disorder, and it is wrong, and they have to stop it. I'm encouraging them to stop it. It is not good. Secondly, what took place yesterday evening at Vale Royal, as a matter of fact, I was actually there. I am not surprised, disappointed, yes. Surprised, no.
Yes.
Not surprised, because when you look at the person, you recognize what he thinks of us in Jamaica. Remember,
I didn't myself see it, but I understand what is it that Mr. Golding didn't stand on the arrival of the Prime Minister? Is that?
No, and it was made clear to stand for the entrance of the Prime Minister, and he didn't.
The
national anthem.
The MC said to stand.
Yes, the announcement was made. And he didn't.
Oh, I see.
And when the national anthem was playing, we respect the anthem.
Oh, he didn't stand for the anthem?
He didn't stand?
Yes, with his hand in pocket. I mean, it is poor. And he needs to stop it. Mm-hmm. I understand where he's coming from as a British. But I'm sure if the British anthem was playing, he would not respond in that way. And it is wrong.
Oh, I need to go and rewatch it. I didn't see that part. Oh, I see.
Yes, we need to show respect. It is very, very bad, very poor, and I am expecting the Prime Minister was magnanimous in victory, but he is still holding this grudge, and they want to go find this. The election is behind us. We are going forward. Time come.
You know, I want to share a thought with you and Ricardo. I was having a conversation today, and I want to hear your views because I didn't agree with the position put forward. But the individual said to me that the election is over, yet still the Prime Minister is extending his hand in his speech, but then he's using rhetoric utilized on the political campaign. So, for example, choose Jamaica, and the time that he said the time has come. And I said to the person, well, I would not read so deeply in that. And he said it's a big discussion that is happening in some circles. And a journalist, a prominent journalist on YouTube indicated that it was the wrong posture put forward by the Prime Minister. I don't know your thoughts on that because I totally disagree.
Rubbish. You want to tell me the Prime Minister should not address things that was said in his speech? The Prime Minister should not say that the government would want for you not to choose a child out of the family to go to university, but that all our children must go to university. The Prime Minister
and that's exactly what I said because the person said, oh, he took a jab at that. And I'm like, yeah, but the people voted, the people made a choice. And from the campaign stage of JLP, they have always said that they don't believe in that position put forward by the PNP. So what if the Prime Minister is going to come now to say, hey, I don't believe the person to go to university we should choose between the first or the second or the third child, but everyone should have that opportunity. What is so divided about the Prime Minister making that statement?
Me choose and go to university. I didn't choose that, okay, you can take the book and you're not taking the book, so you must go. No. I want them to be better than I am. So we send our children. So you're going to say no. You are targeting one pick-me out of the household to go. Come on. The Prime Minister has to address it. And today, you know what pleased me today? I don't know. I don't think you are too young to know of Tony Patel.
Oh, yes, I know.
And when I heard him today, you know, it gave me a little, it blessed my heart. And knowing the broadcast house he was. And when I recognized that, he recognized that what is happening. And, you know, he was very, very upset based on his tone. So I'm saying, I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed. And if Mark Golding, if he cannot manage, if we are two lowly colonies, if we are colony people, and he can't manage to deal, there's always the exit. You know, so what he's doing is wrong, and I think Jamaicans need to stand up and say it is wrong. You remember when he went to Connecticut the other day, and he said what was happening, the journalists then buy them out, then and everybody sit down and shut them out. And you know what surprises me all of this? We don't have no more civil society. The church is quiet, and all you would expect for an uproar, everybody is silent. But such is life.
All right.
Gentlemen,
thank you, Don. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you know, Sanjay, regarding what you just said.
No, Ricardo, I could not believe
that
someone would come forward with that. Yeah?
Here is what it is. Here's what it is. And, you know, I said to Cliff, you know, I don't know how much longer he's going to keep me in this job because I got to start talk my mind. I got to start talk my mind. Here's what it is. There are people who do not want to see Andrew Holness celebrate the fact that he defeated Mark Golding and the People's National Party. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all it is. They do not want to see any hint of celebration. That's all it is. That's what it is. Because I don't know. I don't know where. And if you can point me to anywhere in the world where it happens, I will shut up. Where a leader of a political party wins an election, gives an inaugural address, and does not throw out something for their base supporters. Where does it happen?
Ricardo, it seems as if you were on that call.
No, tell me where it happened. Tell me now which country that happened.
But it's funny because that's exactly what I said to the individual. I gave examples of what happened in Jamaica in the past. PJ Patterson, Portia Simpson Miller. And I gave examples of the United States.
It happens in every country.
You have to pander also to your base. They're the ones who are the backbone of your celebration.
People campaign, people worked hard, people are happy, people are celebrating.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. There seems to be a different standard that some individuals.
But me telling a long time, that there is, and it's not just on that matter, it's a lot of things. Mm-mm. The powers of the office of the Prime Minister, all of it. Anyway, you can read my article. It's published on Nationwide, and it's also published in The Observer. It's just about him. I can't come to any other conclusion, and and you know me, Sanjay, you know I'm slow to ascribe bad motive to people. I just can't come to any other conclusion. It really just is about him. They don't want to see him celebrated. They don't want to treat it as a milestone or a significant moment. That's just it. That's
sad.
Carl.
Evening, Ricardo. Evening, Sanjay.
Hey, Carl. Good evening.
Maybe the Bells, them were did a beating a goal in head last night up a Jamaica house did make him couldn't get up. Because, and Sanjay and Ricardo, them people who don't want to see a Jamaica Prime Minister, a black man Prime Minister, Sharifino. So long, Sharifino. You know, if you follow what the Prime Minister say, there is some of all who did a cause they need. You can step aside, you can achieve everything. You have to live more with Andrew Holness, miss. Take it. And you don't have that right to decide that. We as Andrew Holness supporters have that right to ask him when we feel like to step aside. Not you. You did want to see him go down. So you don't have that right to discuss that, miss. You doesn't have that right. Anyhow, from me, I come up and I watch this politics. I come up and we kind of have a grasp idea of it. your protocol of your country must honor, no, sir?
Yeah. Yes, usually we honor protocol, yes.
We honor
observe protocol.
Observe protocol. If I did PMP win election and did a swearing, and I go and did a swearing yesterday, I wish every day him organized to be swearing. Right is that once Golding with her come in, Andrew Holness must get up as the leader of the opposition, no, sir?
Yeah, that is what the standard and protocol. I know that when the head of government enters a room or enters a space, you stand, yes.
When the head of government finish talk, you're supposed to get up again and stand up. Golding have been breaking these things more than one time now and getting away with it. And I wonder where is KD Knight in all of this? Because would KD Knight want to see these things happen when PMP get back to office if he is still alive? We must be careful what we are asked for now, because we will just get it. Because if we continue to make Golding do all of these things and get away, he went to the National Security Stadium for August 6th in a Quest security shirt without a green in a it. And the church silent, the human rights them silent.
Me not talk to you about that green sitting there already and that shirt something there.
Yes, all of them is silent about it. And tonight again, you're going to tell me, say, boy, you hear about it already. But Sanjay never there when we call last night. I mean, here one gentleman, big man, he last caller last night. Let me tell you something, sir. Your party have been rejected by the people of Jamaica. Accept that. I'm not going out.
I don't know that the caller was a supporter of the PMP.
Right. Accept that. Being rejected. And I'm calling upon tonight. What is happening to the human rights them concern Mr. Norman Scott? Him have been charged Friday. They must come out now and ask him to step aside and go clear his name. George Wright did have to step aside or clear his name. Where is all of these people?
All right, Carl.
Well, last one. All who I go walk with white man come next week. I walk in a parliament. And if you look where him leading us to.
Carl,
respect
I think you can drop the race. I think you can drop the race issue. No, I think Carl, you can drop the race issue now. I think
and a race is
yes,
never
you don't need to keep referencing Mr. Golding's racial heritage.
Well, them all walk with him. Then if you look where this man is leading the protocols them of our country. What is happening?
All right.
In 209 Pakistan National Arena and in continue to do the wrong things. If I did the British flag did a hold up in the stand up.
I don't know about that. Good night, Carl. Leonard Seville says that's ridiculous. It's not a human rights issue. I suppose he's referencing Carl's call on human rights. It is a human rights issue, Leonard. Gender-based violence or the allegation of gender-based violence is certainly a human rights issue. But beyond that, I think the call is valid because the civil society groups and human rights actors in this country did speak out very vocally regarding George Wright. And I don't need to remind you that in that instance, there were no charges. And there is a charge, a criminal charge here. So I think it's a fair call. I think that's reasonable. And I'd have to remind you my own position on George Wright. But I think if you're going to be, consistent and fair, then there has to be something that you say about this. Errol.
Bless. Ricardo. Sanjay.
What do you do?
Good enough. George Wright never charge. But this man a charge, don't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's two different cases. So all of them were that talk about George Wright.
No. Let me be clear. I still think George Wright had a responsibility to say if it was him on the tape. I still believe that. But I'm just saying the same energy that people had for George Wright should be applied here. For sure. Yes, absolutely. 100%.
See where it goes. What me have to know, Deion Jackson, Ricardo.
Yes, man, I'm hearing you. You said Mrs. Jackson Miller.
No, come on, if Andrew is fair wife, for me, she just takes it for Andrew. So.
How has she been doing that? How has she been doing that?
Well, she has to have Andrew for step down, can't get rain for get. When get rain for get, that's for step down.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
She said he should step down and she should consider his legacy. Isn't that what she said?
She should take one, man.
Well.
Why she don't tell Market Chief to step down now? Can't get a beaten.
I didn't see the videos. I didn't see the videos.
Portia get a beaten, step down. Peter get a beaten, step down. Market Chief to step down. So she will go tell Market Chief to leave and leave Andrew. You get me?
You sure she said he should step down? I don't think that's what she said.
Of course, just listen, man.
All right, I will watch it because I haven't watched it, but I will watch it. But I don't think that's what she said. But all right.
Because me don't know the woman just takes it from the Prime Minister, so me don't know the Prime Minister is fair, you know.
Anyway, what else is on your mind?
What is on my mind?
Yes.
4 terms, dead again for them.
Mr. Sir, the first term.
You really reach far, you know.
The first term just start.
Focus on the third term.
Where you reach at 4?
And look at you now. One thing me have to. You see Bobby Montague? See the boss bring him back in the cabinet?
Mm-hmm.
Don't come back with the rubbish again, you know, because he come with rubbish already 2 times, you know. But I come back with it, you know. And let down the Prime Minister, you know, make the people come to chat, you know. Me I want Bobby Montague, you know.
All right, Errol. Thanks for the call. Brick Road says, Ricardo, you should not entertain callers disparaging fellow journalists. No, Brick Road, I was clear that I have not heard the video. And I rather doubt that's what she said. And I wouldn't entertain anybody disparaging Mrs. Jackson Miller. I didn't hear the video. Sanjay, did you hear it?
No, but someone spoke to me on it earlier today, and I promised that I would watch it later on.
And I will watch both of the videos because I understand that there are 2 of them.
One
regarding Miss Dr. Holness and one regarding Mr. Golding.
No, I see.
Willow, is it? Willow?
Yeah, man. Good evening, Sanjay and Ricardo.
Good evening, Willow.
Ricardo, man. What you do?
All right.
Good.
Yeah. Ricardo.
Yes, sir.
And Sanjay.
Yes.
When me I grew up as a little boy, I go to school. Right? We learned this. That when the national anthem is playing, we're supposed to stand up as a soldier, respecting our national anthem. We got a lot of football matches in the national stadium. And when the anthem is played, we stand up as a soldier, right? Stand up respecting my national anthem, right? I talk about it, you know.
Hold on. Let me be clear, Willow. Because I said I didn't see that part. Are you saying that Mr. Golding did not stand for the anthem?
But he don't stand respecting the anthem.
He did stand. It was.
But his hands are in his pocket.
Okay. I see.
That's what I didn't see it, but that's what I was told. Yeah.
Got you.
He never stand. Even his feet was apart. No respect.
No, man, but it is.
I think we're being a little bit too critical.
We're being a little bit too
I mean, if his hands were in his pocket,
yeah.
then yes, you can fairly criticize that. But I mean, how his feet were positioned is a little much.
All right. Yesterday, everybody stand. And and if it was him, I know you would expect if Andrew Holness was the opposition leader to stand to show respect for the head of state of Jamaica.
Head of government.
And head of government of Jamaica. And that was a big disrespect to showing that he don't respect Jamaica. He don't respect Jamaica. That is how I look at it. I'm 61 going 62 next month. And it's the first I see these things happen. And I'm not pleased with what I'm seeing. I'm not pleased with what I'm seeing. Ricardo and Sanjay, I'm not pleased. I know well-thinking Jamaicans, supposed to be pleased with these things. And you want to rule Jamaica and say you want to be the next prime minister, and you're doing these things, and you have people following you. No. Because think again. What is the example you are setting for the younger youths who are growing up? Because young people watch these things. Yes. We have to think. The command they usually will command after 7 o'clock say think on these things. And we have to think on these things. This man is the opposition leader. One day, he will be the prime minister. If Jamaica people is not thinking, and this is how you want to lead us, I'm saying this man still, as what the Prime Minister had said in the debate, if he's really a Jamaican,
I think that has been answered.
Jamaican, he will act like a Jamaican.
All right, Willow, hear you.
And respect Jamaica. Thank you very much.
Hear you, Willow.
Okay. That's Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yes. Good evening to you both.
How are you?
What do you do?
Not bad, you know. Enjoy myself last night, man.
Oh, you did their bashment?
Yes, man, I couldn't make that pass me. No, sir. Because I'm swearing in. I wasn't at the front of the thing that was happening there. I was more in the back. So I don't say if Mr. Golding stand up or I'm never stand up. But that was the talking point among each other of us when we meet and talking.
Oh, I see.
That he didn't get up and that is disrespectful of him. But it does surprise me because he's been doing that for the longest while. And Mr. Golding have no respect for us, the people of Jamaica. Because it's not only Mr. Golding one in have respect for, the whole of us here. Because if he's planning to be Prime Minister. Anyhow, though, he not turn Prime Minister again, sir, because 5 more years him turn a older man. Right?
He would be 65?
So I'm not worry about that. But for the time being, he must show respect to the what is to be happen, the protocol.
Oh, by the way, we've had a statement from the People's National Party. They are objecting. Of course, the Parliament will meet for the first time tomorrow, and the PNP says it will not support the reappointment of either Mrs. Marissa Dalrymple Philibert or Mrs. Juliet Holness to the position of Speaker of the House. The PNP chairman is quoted as saying the Speaker must serve the people of Jamaica as an impartial umpire of parliamentary proceedings, not partisan interests. Angela Brown-Burke says our Parliament cannot afford to repeat past mistakes. The next Speaker must uphold the Constitution, safeguard the integrity of Parliament, act fairly, and ensure balance in their rulings. For this reason, the People's National Party, Angela Brown-Burke says, has no confidence in and firmly opposes the reappointment of Mrs. Marissa Dalrymple Philibert or Mrs. Juliet Holness as Speaker. So, fireworks tomorrow, shortly after 11, the Speaker will be elected. And the PNP is making known that if it's one of these two women, they're going to oppose.
Well, I mean, them opposing still cannot stop whomever the JP wants to be, or the government wants to be speaker, because they have the majority.
Yeah, but it will. I think it would be a forecasting of things to come. If on the very first day and on the very first morning, the parliament starts with rancor.
Because typically what happens... Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're not going to stoop to them, because that is going to be part of them plan. Right, too. But we're not going to stoop to them. Yes. Right? And I hope the government understand that we not vote for them to come and lap them tail and frighten for the PNP, because they might get some of them one medicine.
And
because I know young, I don't know these things.
And let me say,
think them stop when them in opposition.
And let me say,
when them in government.
Let me say to Faithful, who called earlier, this is what I mean when I say I see no reason to be hopeful.
No, because they decide to don't allow the government to operate in a good atmosphere, because they think they want Jamaica.
Someone is saying, a friend of mine just said to me, the PNP is behaving that as if they have the majority and they're the government.
Yeah, they don't.
But Cleveland, Ricardo, we understand and we follow the politics. It is the principle and in good faith that whomever the government decides that they want to be the Speaker of the House, the opposition typically second that nomination. It is normally in good faith that it is done. I think this is going to be the first time in a very long time. I cannot recall, and you can probably tell me, if we have ever had, and if it goes as planned as what we're seeing now, where the opposition, whomever is in opposition, they don't support the nomination of the person who is nominated for Speaker of the House. I cannot recall.
I mean, the statement is bizarre because no choice has been made, so far as I know.
Exactly.
Suppose the next Speaker of the House is Marlene Malahou Fort.
That too.
So why issue this statement before even hearing the nomination?
Right, before, yeah. You see what I'm saying? Them issue statement before them even know what's going to happen. But as I said about
but you know what might happen now? Let's say that the Speaker, as you indicated, Ricardo, for whatever sake, is someone else, Marlene Malahou Fort. Then the PNP is going to say, well, see, we put out a statement and the government had to move forward with what we suggest, that we don't want those two individuals.
Yeah, but as I said, that, I talked with Mrs. Fort last night. She didn't show no way. It's funny. She was there happy at the thing last night. So, I don't know. And remember now, she may be the person going to work on behalf of the party in the West.
I see.
Right.
But
I hope they tell people, come on, we give on the third term, and it's not allow the PNP to run on a show for now. Then walk out. Will JLP run the country, govern the country for how much years without them? And the place never mashed down.
All right, Cleveland. All right, Cleveland. We are in for, I think, a wild ride, a very difficult time. So gird your loins. It's gonna be a rough 5 years.
By the way, Ricardo. Yes. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, can I just offer my heartiest congratulations to Keith Duncan, OJ, who I think will be an absolutely fantastic senator. Congratulations, Mr. Duncan. Very, very well deserved. I'm also happy to see people like Shireen Golding Campbell returning to the Senate. She was always a very, very good senator. Marlon Morgan, of course, Apka Fitz-Henley. So I think a good lineup. On the People's National Party side, very interesting appointments. Ramon Small Ferguson of Barita, I think is a good appointment. Alan Bernard, who I understand to be a very decent human being, very, very good. Kisha Anderson is her name. I understand she's competent in finance. So I think on the whole, I mean, there are some people I would have left out of the Senate.
On both sides, yeah.
But I think on the whole...
Oh, definitely. There's one name that I'm seeing there that definitely...
I think I'm thinking the same name you're thinking. But I think it's a much improved Senate, and I think it will be good. So I'm looking forward to the Senate sittings on Friday.
Someone is saying, Ricardo, how comes the PNP didn't appoint a Maroon as they had said in... as I said they would?
Well, let me cut Mr. Golding some slack. He appointed a Rasta man. Alan Bernard has locks. Yeah? So you get half. 50-50.
Yeah, can't get the whole.
Yeah, I understand. All right.
And by the way, before we go, Ricardo, the PNP, they're foregoing the public session of their annual conference.
Then you'd have got a conference after you lose election, friends. No, you tell me, if after you lose election, you have got a conference, you have got arena. I think that's a reasonable decision to make. Why would you have a conference, or certainly a public session? Because I think they will have a private session. Yeah. I think that's reasonable. Yeah. All right, that's where we're gonna leave it. Thank you to Sonia Stewart, Norgay Banton, who are our producers. The man behind the controls, Boogs. Thank you, sir. My colleagues in the newsroom, the very best in the business. My name is Ricardo Brooks.
And my name is Sanjay Lewis. Wishing for you a wonderful evening.
Good evening.
Creative Building Finishes is